side. A man is open. It is caught again. It's Day. Back to throw. McKecker gonna let it rip. It's Keegan in the end zone. Looking for the first down and more. He's at midfield. He's got the step along the sideline. Solomon Sanchez, the reception. He put it on the turf. 19 seconds. Jump ball. Far side. Nichols. Two-hand grab. Shannon. Drop back, looks to his left, throws, he's got a man, it is caught, touchdown Plymouth. And Quentin Winter, one man to beat, makes him miss, stiff arms at the goal line and tumbles in. The ball is out, and Londonderry has it at the 25-yard line. Himself left side, turns the corner, down the sideline, breaks a tackle, inside the 20, down to the 10. Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Derry. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you. It's our Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance. The Windham Jaguars and the Pinkerton Astros set to do battle in what is expected to be a hard-fought, hard-hitting affair between two rivals in Division I South. Well, senior night, or senior day, the festivities took place moments ago. The coin toss, the national anthem, the kickoff around the corner. And Steve, both teams looking to get an edge as we approach already the mid-season point in this strange 2020 high school football season here in New Hampshire.
Well, after that loss that Londonderry had last night to Bedford, this game for Pinkerton is huge because they now have an opportunity within that very powerful South Division to be on par with a win today. As far as Windham is concerned, if you listen and read about what Coach Jack Byrne has said about his team, he's one proud man of his group of guys. If you are a fan that loves very, very well orchestrated running attacks with a play action out of it, both of these teams, I think we know, have a history of doing it extremely well year after year. Windham program, obviously much younger than Pinkerton, but they're developing a culture down there, a football culture that you know the Jaguars are a program that are going to give you a very, very physical fight, almost a smaller version of Salem in the sense, but no less aggressive. These guys get it done, and they're well coached. As far as Coach O'Reilly's concerned, literal institution in the state of New Hampshire, Hall of Fame coach without a question, still coaching today, is really a guy that masters of running. I've told you I've loved both of these teams' offense. I've watched, I look at Coach O'Reilly's offense as a model for a high school football program, and he just gets it done and finds the people to do it every day.
Pinkerton at 1-1 following an opening night loss at rival Londonderry 23-14 against the defending champs. They got right last week with a home victory over Nashua South. 33-7 was the final there. So a lot of size up front, really both ways, yeah. Steve, and in a sense, this may be one of those traditional matchups that is decided in the trench.
Yeah, anybody who loves the trenches and likes to see players that are really technically developed, both of these teams get that job done. They're both deep. If you hear both coaches talk about it, they're very deep. Big thing with Pinkerton this year is they're healthy, and a lot of those guys are coming back with a lot of varsity experience. I would argue more than most teams do because of the amount of injuries they had last year. There's something to look for. Also, behind the scenes, looking a little bit at the quarterback situation with Pinkerton. It was said there that you'll see Beals get some snaps as well as Campos. I think from what I could see, Campos is still going to get the start, but depending on how the game goes on, this is where you start working in the season where you may see a little of that come to fruition. As far as the defense of Windham, as far as I can see, they look pretty solid there. So both trenches look very large, very well conditioned, and very well trained. So this is going to be a fun one for me and so many other people that love that real central part of football where it all starts, and that's in the trenches, as you aptly said, Nick.
Well, as you can see, the Windham Jaguars are ready to go pretty much on the far side of the field, and Pinkerton still kind of wrapping up their senior day festivities. The cheer team is here. They are ready to go on the track. And right now I think the football players are
awaiting to be called onto the field as they kind of hang around outside of the locker room. It should be a gorgeous day today, about 70 or so degrees. The fall season in full swing. We've got a semi-strong breeze blowing from left to right as well. And, of course, here at Pinkerton Academy, one of the notable features of the field area, I think, is the backdrop, especially at this time of the year with the gorgeous foliage. It just screams fall football.
Well, we fortunately this morning on the way to the game, Nick, we all drove over 93 because it was jam-packed solid with leaf peepers on their way up for peak weekend. As we looked down, it was in infinity as far as the traffic that was going there. You know, one of the things that coming in here, Nick, you're right about the backdrop and that, but the other thing that I noticed is the field itself. The field complex itself is just incredible. I talked to the assistant AD before the game, and he was telling me this field has won awards, and it's no wonder why. The brightness, it literally looks like there was a lawnmower that just like a golf lawnmower that freshly cut this. It's so authentic looking. And
well, remember that turf is not that old, just over a year or so.
No, but the other thing is the old turf fields, that, you know, as they've been able to build the technology with drainage, Nick, they're able to make the fields now more level because their under drainage goes into a perimeter system like this one does like no other. So all stops have been pulled to make this the best quality field possible, and it's a great venue because you don't have that 1.5 to 2 foot rise in the middle of the field. So it just feels more and more like brand new grass. The other thing is, if you look over here, the carpet encompasses the whole interior. It just makes with this backdrop right here, take a picture, folks, because New England football, Southern New Hampshire Division I football, doesn't get any better looking than this.
Let's talk a little bit about the division. And as you mentioned last night, Bedford went to Londonderry and handed the Lancers their first loss in nearly 2 full calendar years. That shakes up things in D1 South. Londonderry is still at the top of the mountain for the moment at 2-1. You have this Windham team looking for an upset win on the road against a Pinkerton squad that, as we mentioned, would love to get back to 2-1 with their second straight victory. Salem is off this week. They were scheduled to play Merrimack, but the Tomahawks having some trouble getting everybody healthy and onto the field there. So Salem is at 1-1. I mean, what do you make of what potentially could be the deepest conference in Division I, being in kind of a state of flux right now?
Well, at first I was going to say unequivocally, without a doubt, it was the South. But now the North Division is looking very solid, too, with Goffstown and Bedford and Memorial 3-0 as well. So, I mean, you've got a nice division, strength in division there. The thing last night, Nick, when we had done our Friday Night Lights game with Dover against Winnicott, was the real question as we were getting the scores coming in, whether or not McEachern was in that game. And you were able to dig out and find out that he was, in fact, in that game. I think that says a lot. Assuming that he had come back from the neck injury healthy, we'll assume that. What does that mean? I would say that says Bedford is a very, very solid football team.
Well, let's not forget, when speaking about the Bulldogs, they have captured 2 of the last 4 Division I championship crowns. A victory a championship this season would make it 3 out of 5. So that not only is a good team, but it's a good program, as we know, with a lot of success, a lot of athletes, a lot of depth. They had a new quarterback come in last year who got them off to a great start before coming back down to earth a little bit towards the end of last season. But make no mistake, that Bulldog team, as I said, deep and experienced, and they showed it last night in that road win at Londonderry.
Yeah, those 2 championships of the last 4 came under Coach Derek Stank, and no secret what I felt about that guy, and so many other people did. He's a special coach, really had his team playing at a high level. You know, when you inherit a good underbelly program, it still takes an incredible coach to build a championship culture, and Derek Stank did that. Then you have Coach Matthews that came in last year. Obviously, when you go through a changeover like that, it's kind of coming into a 14-0 type program. The fact that he's got this team playing this well this early says a lot about him. Everybody knew up in Kearsarge he has a good resume as far as coaching young athletes. Appears to be going not taking very long at all to get the Bulldogs back up to the level of play that they were before. Let's see how this is a very interesting season because we're starting to see some upsets as teams develop. certainly looks like the Bulldogs are coming into their own right now with a big win against Londonderry Lancers.
And again, just to keep an eye on the schedule, again, a truncated version this season because of the COVID-19 situation. It's essentially a 5-game schedule for each team, essentially. And then in kind of an open tournament is what they're calling it on the horizon for this year's playoffs.
Yeah, I've been extremely impressed with NHIA, how they've handled this, Nick. They've done a great job last minute. A lot of this stuff had to be worked last minute. Nobody really knew what was coming. We talked to Coach O'Reilly on Rewind, and he was saying, 1 week to the next, remember, he said you didn't know what was going to happen. The fact that we got out here September 25th is pretty incredible, and they had 2 weeks of practice. I think the level of play has been better than what I expected, to be honest with you. But as far as that's concerned, I think this tournament situation puts as many people in to get more games. And I think for these seniors this year, that's special because they have a chance to pretty much all get in a playoff game as long as you had a relatively successful season. And it also allows the person that developed the best at the end to be playing at a high level, to be able to make up some of that lost ground depending on specific pandemic-related issues that they had to face in the beginning of the season. So I think they've done a great job.
Well, the players are on the field. Pinkerton filling up the home sideline. You see the Jaguars in white on the far side of the field getting loose as well. Again, it's senior day. Unfortunately, the band was left at home due to a COVID-19 outbreak. One of the band members was diagnosed, and as a result, caution
Early
is
action.
king
Early action.
in this day and age. No band today, which I guess does benefit us. We've got a little bit more room to spread our legs up here
And
in
we
the
got
top
a little
row of the
closer to the
bleachers.
50-yard line, which helped as well, so
Yep.
we're appreciative of that.
All right, the captain's heading towards midfield. And, well, we've seen how important it is at the high school level, Steve, to get your team off to a good start, to come ready to play, so to speak. And oftentimes it starts right here, at least in my opinion, that kind of calm before the storm, the opening kick looming. That was always one of my favorite parts of the game.
Well, veteran coaches and veteran cultures within teams know that the kind of like some of the old arts of warfare, that you do your work ahead of time, and whatever you've done is all positive. I remember the great player, and I learned a lot under him as a coach, Andre Guerin, who was obviously a superstar player for UNH.
Yep.
Used to have this thing walking around leading his team saying, as a head coach, all positive on game day. That's stayed with me for a lot of years. And these coaches, specifically, I know Coach O'Reilly because I've watched him coach, so it seems to be all positive on game day because you've done your work. Let's go to work as a team, bonded together with a positive spirit and get it done, come out aggressive.
There's a limited amount of tickets available. The fans starting to roll in. Let's pause for the national anthem. There you have it, the national anthem. Always a nice job. And getting set here for the opening kick between Windham and Pinkerton. The Astros looking for their second straight victory. Windham looking to hold their own in this series, which doesn't date back very long. Of course, Windham, a newer high school, a newer entry into D1 just the last handful or so seasons. So a win here would really be big for not just this team but the program in general.
Everybody knew when Windham High School opened that it very quickly, the football culture, parents' organization, the community as a whole rallied around the Jaguar program. Obviously, if you remember, played for the Razorback organization, where Windham was part of them. They split off into their own group as the community grew, and football's taken hold of Windham, and I don't think it's going anywhere soon because the culture here has been great. Bill Raycraft and now Coach Byrne.
Well, last year we did a game there. We showed up at least 2 hours early, and there were folks out tailgating with the tents and barbecue and everything else. Meanwhile, we are underway as the kickoff goes out of bounds on the far side. A flag is going to fly for illegal procedure, so not the start longtime head coach Brian O'Reilly was looking for out of Pinkerton.
Pretty good size numbers on both sides of the field, Nick, from what I can see. Windham looks to me like about 45, 50 players. Some, if I was going to guess, maybe not quite, maybe not 55, but certainly 45, 50. So,
and Pinkerton, of course, they always come loaded for bear, so to speak.
And being home.
All right, first down and 10 as we take a look at the Windham offense for the first time, led by number 99, Joey De Silva, the senior quarterback, who hands off to his running back. The ball may have came out late. I think he was down.
I think he was.
The Jaguars will keep it. Handoff there taken by Weston Lippold, who was expected to get a lot of work today for Coach Byrne.
Jaguars running that double wing offense, Nick. I ran that for years and really, really enjoyed it. Gives if you have 3 or 4, good athletes, you could really attack, puts a lot of blockers at the point of attack. It'd be kind of fun to watch this. Billy Raycraft ran this as well, of course.
De Silva in the pistol here after the short gain on first down. It's second and long. They go deep. Down the seam, he's got a man, but incomplete is the result. Bobbled at about the 30-yard line. De Silva trying to hook up with Lippold, who just could not pull that in. It'll be third down and long. Not Lippold there, but Stephen Maig, another one of these seniors that is expected to touch the football a lot today for the Jaguars.
A little surprising. I think Lippold was supposed to cut in a little bit earlier because you had 2 Jaguar receivers literally right next to each other, drawing more defenders to that area, but looked like a catchable ball to me, Nick.
Windham hoping for the first down. Pinkerton looking to force the 3 and out. They stay on the ground on 3rd and 5, and a tackle is made at the line of scrimmage as Lippold just did not have anywhere to go. A good stop by Anthony Terenzio, one of the heart and soul defending leaders for Pinkerton. Good stop there by the junior. It'll be 4th down and short here, 4th and 2.
They're going for it.
Well, interestingly, from their own territory, De Silva, in an attempt to make the 3-down lineman jump.
That could be what's going on.
Barks a long count, takes a look over his right shoulder at the coaching staff. Now in the pistol again, set to take a snap. Hand off to Lippold. Met and stuck short of the first down marker. It'll be a turnover on downs. Logan Robinson, the big two-way star up front for Pinkerton, makes the tackle. And the tri-captain's got the home sidelines fired up as the offense gets ready to take over. 1st and 10 at the Jaguar 44.
Great job by the defensive line. They were able to not get they maintained separation, but actually held the line of scrimmage and advanced it a little bit. Which nice job shedding the blocker and making that tackle. He grabbed him in a bear hug and drove him to the ground short of the first.
1st and 10, quick snack taken by Campos. The handoff is to the right side, and the back will go inside the 40-yard line. That's David Clark. Some members of his family are here wearing Clark apparel on the Pinkerton side, and now the senior picked up about 6 there on that first down run to make it 2nd down and 4.
Say a quick hi out to my friend Gary Socklad, who sent a nice email from Windham watching the game. Great to hear from you, Gary. Awful good guy.
Yeah, Alec, his son, in the game, one of the seniors for Windham. Stretch run. This is Jacob Albert the stud sophomore for Pinkerton. Not going to get much there. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
No, he got some yardage.
34. Or no, you're right. He's close to the first down stick, still about a yard shy. They'll mark him at the 45. He's got to get to the 44, so a 3rd down and 1 coming.
Yeah, Pinkerton getting a pretty good push here with the offensive line. Little more than the Jaguars did in the first round, but we'll see how this trench game goes, Nick. It's going to be extremely important with both of these teams' offense with their explosive running games that they have. So far I'd give Pinkerton a little edge, but we'll see how it moves forward.
Key down early on. 3 minutes in, first quarter, opening drive for Pinkerton. They go to the big fella. That's Evan Wilson, on a dive up the middle, and the big fullback has the first down at the Jaguar 30.
Evan Wilson's a great player to watch play football. If you're looking for a consummate high school football player, head coach O'Reilly spoke very highly of him. We were at the Friday Night Lights, was at the Londonderry game, and he just played his heart out, and was very impressed with his play both sides of the ball.
Good stick, by the way, on the other side by Stephen Maig. That's his second tackle, the inside linebacker, bringing down Wilson on the previous play. On the stretch run, 1st and 10, it's back to Albert, and the sophomore are going to twist and turn down to the 20-yard line. He's close to a first down. They'll mark him just shy after a 9-yard pickup. Second carry for Albert, who has looked good here out of the gate for Pinkerton. Astros inside or just on the doorstep of the red zone on their opening drive after forcing the Jaguars to punt to open up the game.
Yeah, very methodical movement down. This is very traditional Pinkerton Academy. Eat the clock. It's down to 8:30 and counting.
Campos under center, man in motion. Handoff is back to Wilson. Back up the middle. And the big back is taken down at about the 17-yard line after a 3-yard gain. By the way, they gave Albert the first down on the previous run, so it was 1st and 10. Wilson in the end ends up getting 3, so a 2nd down and 7 coming, with 4 minutes gone off this first quarter clock.
Pinkerton quarterback doing a good job with calling cadence, Nick. Definitely getting the jump off of the ball from the offensive line.
Snap taken. Albert on the outside. Plenty of room. He's got a first down, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Tripped up after a gain of about 6. The linebacker Jackson Milano will get credit there. Milano out there on the edge, but plenty of room there off tackle for Albert on his 3rd carry. So a first down and goal, it looks like, with the nose of the football just inside the 10-yard line.
Excuse me. One of the things I know that most of the work is inside the tackles, but they're mixing it up. Offensive play calling is good sequencing here, changing the direction on both sides of the ball, what they're attacking.
Tight end in motion on 1st and goal. Campos against a 5-man front. Takes a snap, turns to his right, hands to Wilson, who dives inside the 5-yard line. They'll mark him at about the 4. Another bruising carry for Wilson, who really exemplifies what Pinkerton is about, Steve. Just rough and rugged, downhill runner. It'll set up a 2nd down and goal here, coming up now 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a whole bunch of things that are quite obvious to really value about Evan Wilson, but one of the things is, heart, those things are all there, but his stamina to last throughout a game and to be used, literally never come off the field, is amazing.
Wing back left side, 2nd and goal, back to Wilson. Off guard, not much, stopped a little shy of the 1-yard line. Met in the hole by one of the big D tackles for Windham. That's Richard Philogene, the senior, who may be the biggest amongst that front 4 for the Jags. So his first tackle. Jaguars now going to stick together to keep Pinkerton out of the end zone. It's 3rd and goal from the 1 as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Astros hoping to strike first on their home field.
Yeah, he is a sizable nose guard there, Nick.
Well, they stick with Wilson. They do on 3rd and goal. Left side this time, and a touchdown for the Astros. Wilson, the focal piece of that drive, 4 carries, and he caps it off with a beautiful 1-yard plunge for the touchdown. Astros take the first lead, 6-0, 6 minutes into this contest.
Very methodical movement downfield, Nick. Good play calling. Work both sides of the ball here, which is making it difficult for the Jaguars to stack any particular side. Not a lot of change of plays. They pretty much send the play in and they go with it.
Extra point try. Picasso Bates, the veteran kicker, still only a junior, on here, faces the rush, and it's blocked up the middle. I believe it was who? Number
58,
58 up the middle. That's James Como. May have got his left hand on it, the senior. Well, Colt holds this Astro lead to 6-0 by denying the extra point. So, Pinkerton, they go 46 yards in just over 4 minutes. And strike first here, 6-0. Again, a limited crowd here in Derry. No student body. No fans at all allowed on the Windham side. Just a limited number of tickets for each player to bring along the family. That's been the case for the most part in the early part of the season, no matter where we have gone here, as New Hampshire continues to try to navigate through these uncharted waters.
So far, to me, they've done an excellent job of focusing on making sure the kids have an opportunity to play. And
Bates' kick,
nice
end
kick.
over end, pretty deep. Backpedaling, making the catch at about the 10-yard line is the return man, A.J. Fox. Fox is across the 20 and is finally rattled down at about the 25-yard line. Pretty good return. Jags back on for their second drive. The offense did not come out of the gate the way they had planned. A 3-and-out was the result. So De Silva and company
we'll see
trying to open things up here on drive number 2.
We'll see here if the Jaguars coaching staff upstairs has seen any opportunities to maybe change things up a little bit and get some matchup they're looking for on the
well, they got a 4-receiver set, 3 to the far side. They come to the short on 1st and 10. The catch is made and a first down for Weston Lippold. The result is Lippold, pretty good run after the catch, ends up getting 11. And again, a Jaguar first down to the Pinkerton 37-yard line.
Classic example right there. That's a call from upstairs. They see the cornerbacks retreating back, giving a lot of space, so they're going to pull them in and run some short pass plays, high percentage.
Yep. Up-tempo offense as well. They waste little time on the first down snap. De Silva keeps it himself left side. Is brought down by Terenzio after a gain of 2. May have found the 40, just shy. Terenzio already his second tackle. Both Terenzio and Wilson really the big guys to watch in red at that linebacker spot, along with weak side linebacker Jack McKiernan, who doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. But Wilson and Terenzio really are just ball hawks on the other side for Pinkerton. Wyndham, little touch pass, not going to go anywhere. Again, Terenzio on the edge makes the stop for Pinkerton. Now a 3rd and 8 on the way.
A little confused, Nick, of why they don't continue to go to that short pass play. Ozier and the other, who was it on the other side? Albert on the other side are playing, or were playing, on 1st and 2nd down. They're playing 7, 8, 9 yards off. I'll be hitting those short passes and forcing them to come up. Now they're up.
Yeah, Turner is the other cornerback on the near side, playing some press coverage on 3rd and 8. The catch is made, and Mogg is trying on the second effort to obtain the first down. A good spin after the tackle, and may have picked up the key extra yard he needed there. First down, just shy of midfield. Big 3rd down conversion, important here early on with the Jaguars trailing 6-0.
He didn't have it, and with that second effort, he got it. So that's what happens when you start working hard in January, Nick, in the weight room. You're able to physically get yourself where you can sometimes spring free. Great effort there.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining first quarter. 1st and 10 from just shy of midfield. De Silva in the gun. Back to look. Got time. He's going to roll left. Now he's going to tuck. He's going to run. He's going to squirm down the middle and take it into Astro territory at about the 45, make it 44-yard line. Again, Terenzio with the tackle. But there's the athleticism, Steve, with De Silva able to make a positive out of a negative.
Yeah, he did a great job going up the middle, but I thought he was going to stretch around the end. I think he had him beat around the left side, and there was nobody there within 20 yards, Nick. But he chose to go upfield. He saw a lane, and he says, I'm going to grab the yardage that I see here first.
Very shifty player, all-state basketball player for the Jaguars last winter. Snap taken. He'll keep it himself after a fake handoff, lowers the shoulder to the left side.
It's going to be close.
Goes off guard and is tackled shy of the 40-yard line. You're right, about a yard, I think, shy, but I spoke too soon. First down, say the officials. So De Silva on back-to-back runs, able to move the sticks for the Jaguars as we head towards 3 minutes.
And anybody knows the Hugh Wyatt double wing offense, Nick, knows this is how it's supposed to go. Clock eating, very similar to how Pinkerton approaches it as well. Nice drive going so far.
Again in the pistol look, man in motion, snap taken to Silva. Flushed out, rolling near side, throwing deep down the near sideline. Jump ball, incomplete. Over the head of the intended target at the 10-yard line, trying to hook up with Curtis Shattuck. Incomplete. Good coverage there as Russell Patricus was in the area for Pinkerton. A 2nd and 10 on the way.
Yeah, that's it. Again, it looked like De Silva could have got around the left side. He chose to throw the ball, had pretty good coverage downfield. I think probably would have been better off there tucking and running. If you look at it, he's getting outside on the left-hand side, and there's nobody really up there. He's beating 70, the defensive end around the corner. Let's see if they change course.
Pistol look, man in motion. The give is up the middle, and again, nowhere to go. Andrew Brow with his first carry.
Nathan Burris coming in like a submarine.
And Matthew Sigmund in there on the stop as well for Pinkerton. Again, a really deep group up front for Pinkerton that doesn't just run 4 deep. It's more like 8 deep.
It is.
As those guys constantly cycle in and out. All right, 3rd and 10. Jaguars back to the air. De Silva throws near side, and a catch is made. A contested catch by Sam Dunham. He pulled it in. Not deep enough down the field, though. Only about a 5-yard pickup. We'll call it 6, 4th down and 4. Patricus on the stop. Safety came up in good coverage. And now the Jaguars going to go for it here from the Pinkerton 34-yard line. Officially a 4th down and 4 on the way. Jags will stay in the pistol. Snap taken to Silva. Tucks, runs up the middle, is hit, I believe, shy of the 1st down marker. Terenzio with what may have been a 1st down saving tackle for Pinkerton.
Yeah, the key there, Nick, is he got body position. He got underneath him, and he was able to kind of take his body up away from its base, and he didn't get an extra inch once contact was made. That's that form tackling. Remember, Nick, before the game, we were watching the form tackling drills by Pinkerton going over the other side, and that's a huge part. These are the little things that go on as far as prepping for a game during the week and pregame that can make a difference in a situation like that.
And a good stop victory there for the Pinkerton defense as the Astros will take over on downs with just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Drive number 2 for the home team. The Astros capped off their opening drive. Went 46 yards down the field before Evan Wilson scored from a yard away. Blitz up the middle on 1st and 10. A stretch run is going to get blown up. Nowhere to go there for Jake Albert. Hunted down immediately by the Jaguars. I believe that was Keegan Park, the junior, is going to get credit there. Yep. Coming up out of the secondary on the blitz up the middle.
Nice blitz, good call. Coming, but very difficult to pick that up coming from the backside of the run, Nick. And he got a good running start and very shifty to be able to knife his way through, and great scissor tackle for a loss.
Good play call, well executed, well timed by the Jags. See what Pinkerton does after the 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12. Man comes back in motion near side. I believe this is Clark. The handoff taken. And looking for the edge is Clark. Going to keep fighting across the 35 and pick up nearly 8 yards in the end. That's a good long run for Clark. Meanwhile, a flag comes in very late.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
After the play.
I don't think that was related to the play, Nick. I think something went on afterwards. We saw a little of that last night with Dover Winnicott. It looks like the Pinkerton Astros are clapping and probably on the Jaguars.
Yeah, you mentioned last night's broadcast out on the Seacoast. Dover, a 28-12 win over Winnicott. Green Wave 2-0 for the first time in a long time. That game did get chippy.
Oh, yeah.
At some point early on, and it remained almost personal between the two teams last night. This is a personal foul of the ilk that we saw last night. It goes against the Jaguars. It's going to allow Pinkerton to set up 1st and 10 now from the Jaguars' 48-yard line. So
important, Nick, to keep you cool because it just hurt the team there. That's a big – not only a first down, but it just changes territory. It starts allowing Pinkerton to look at downhill, be more aggressive now in their offense, which you never want to let this offense do. If you're on defense, very, very costly, potentially costly play here.
Final minute, first quarter. Pinkerton a 6-0 lead. They keep it on the ground, 1st and 10. Wilson not going to get much. Able to roll forward behind the left guard, maybe for a yard. Again, the mop-up man, Keegan Park, coming in from the secondary.
Yeah, he's active.
Got a nose for the football. He's shown that through the first quarter. Pinkerton getting ready for what is expected to be the final play of this opening quarter. They do not have to take a snap. There's 15 seconds. They will break the huddle, however, so we may see one more here, a 2nd down and 8 on the way.
They got the wind at their back. I think you'll see him take it.
Down to 5 seconds. Snap is taken. Campos fakes the first handoff, gives it to Albert, goes around the corner far side, steps inside the 40, and is knocked out of bounds very close to the first down stick. And they will give it to him. He gets 9 when he needed 8. So that'll do it for the first quarter. A good start for the home team. Pinkerton looking for back-to-back wins. They get a 1-yard plunge from Evan Wilson. They have a 6-0 lead through 12 minutes of play. Our broadcast is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com.
Yeah, Pinkerton Academy doing very well. The Astros are attacking that left side and almost doing it repeatedly right now. They were experimenting in the middle and early parts of the last drive that they had. They scored the touchdown on the right and towards the middle, but now it's all on the left side. They must be seeing matchups there that they can dominate so far. They're starting to rack up some 6 and 7, 8 yard, but the big thing there, Nick, early is they had them 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 in Pinkerton territory, and then you have an after the play personal foul infraction, and it just changed the tone of the game. Jaguars got to come in here and make sure the rest of the game that they're very disciplined on that stuff, because they're going to need that in order to get the momentum going. They had a nice drive going earlier, just got stalled at the end. They have been able to move the ball, at least in the middle part of the field, but they got to put something together here that's sustained. I also think that the Jaguars got to start attacking the underside of those short pass plays, because Pinkerton's basically giving them the room, because they say you're not going to get behind us because we have faith that every time we get the ball we're going to score. That's what I see so far, but I don't know if you see anything else well,
I see a gorgeous day.
Oh, boy.
We'll start there. Not quite sure what to expect last night. It was cold, for us at least in my mind, out on the seacoast. A little bit of a wind coming in off the breeze.
It started out okay.
Yeah, once the sun went down, it got pretty cold down into the lower 40s. But today, back up to 70. Sun is out.
It's beautiful.
A little bit of a breeze and good football weather for sure as Pinkerton gets set to resume their second drive to begin the second quarter. Astros with a 6-0 lead, looking for their second victory of the season. Snap taken, Campos to Wilson, who tried to find room along the left side of the line, just nowhere to go. Good stop up front. Jackson Milano credited with the tackle, and heads up here. Wilson limping off, not a good sign for Pinkerton.
Well, he got twisted down a little bit as he got tackled, and I think his knee or ankle got kind of twisted. That's not good when you see them being helped by the Pails and you see that knee up. That's not good for Pinkerton.
Two teammates trying to get him over to the bench area. The trainers have now been alerted and are going to look at Wilson, who is arguably their best player. Frankly, he's been the leading ball carrier out of the backfield. He's a captain on the defensive side as well, so not a good development for the Astros. Meanwhile, back to the ground. Clark on 2nd down and 8 tries to cut up the field. Does get back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more. Stop shy of the 35-yard line, so it's a good 3rd and 6 here on the way. Another big early play in this first half for Pinkerton.
It's a big part of the game, Nick, right now. You've got, Wilson comes off the field. You got a 3rd down and long. This is probably 4-down territory, I'm sure, here. But even so, this is a big play for the Jaguars especially.
Officially a 3rd down and 7. Jag defense looking to get off the field. They'll roll out Campos. His first throw is incomplete. Over the head of McKiernan, who was open in the near side flat. McKiernan, the junior, could not pull it in overhead. And now Coach O'Reilly, I think, is going to roll the dice here on 4th down and 7.
He believes in his defense, and he's down in their territory. Really probably believes that it's a worthwhile shot. If they're able to get this first down, Nick, it's going to be very beneficial to them to be able to control the clock as we approach the second half and hopefully, for their sake, get a second score.
The Pinkerton defense came up with a stop moments ago, right around the same spot. It's a trick play. Toss, throw down the sideline, catch made for a touchdown. There is a flag on the play. Logan Goki, if this stands, is going to score the second touchdown of the afternoon, but again, there's a flag in the backfield. Or I should say right around the line of scrimmage at the 35-yard line. It's coming back. Yep. So a big mistake for Pinkerton, who had been relatively mistake-free. They had one penalty in that first quarter. But this one big as it arguably takes points off the board. It'll stay at 6-0. Less than 2 minutes into this second quarter. The Astros now backed up after the penalty all the way back to the Jaguar 45-yard line. So now 4th down and a long 16.
Jaguars very fortunate there.
That'll force Coach O'Reilly's hand here. He's going to have to punt. As he sends out Bates, who takes a chest-high snap, gets off a good booming kick far side, fielded at the 10. No fair catch and no real return either. Maybe a yard out to the 11-yard line. Well covered there.
Boy, I'll say.
By the kick coverage team of Pinkerton. So tough field position here for the Jaguars. They begin their third drive just outside their own 11-yard line, 1st and 10.
Always look at high school football, all of football really, but especially in high school. How are the special teams performing? Outstanding punt and outstanding coverage downfield. 3 Astros down there to contain them and pin them way back deep.
1st and 10, De Silva. Handoff left side. Not a whole lot of room there for Park, who's been a standout so far in this first half defensively, but no running room there. Sigmund is second tackle for Pinkerton.
Wilson getting worked on there. Try to stretch out that knee. That's good to see that he's walking a little better. He's moving side to side. Still looks a little gimpy, but I believe that if it was anything serious,
tell him to jog here.
Yeah.
They're going to keep working him out as they hope the co-captain can return here sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, 2.5 gone by. Jags in no hurry, trailing 6-0. Now they're going to call a timeout. They let the play clock wind down. De Silva asks for the first Jaguar timeout, and he'll get it here with exactly 2.5 gone by in this second quarter. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals. We remind you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, FNL NH Media. You can find not only the live broadcasts on the channel, but, of course, the archives of our past broadcasts. Our FNL Rewind archive is up there as well. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already at FNL NH Media on YouTube. And speaking of FNL Rewind, we're set for another Monday live edition, 5 o'clock Eastern. We've got Coach O'Reilly back in the fold. That is confirmed. We'll try and see if we can get Coach Byrne on there from the Windham side as well. But that's every Monday, FNL Rewind, live at 5 Eastern on FNL NH Media. It's all brought to you by Beals Insurance.
It's great to be able to talk to the coaches after the game, get their analysis. We sit up here, Nick, do the best we can for our viewers to try to analyze the game and call it as we see it. But, boy, when you can interview the coaches on Monday, you find out, kind of what was really going on behind the scenes during the game. It's always enjoyable.
Yeah.
To those Windham viewers out there that are this week who are responding and subscribing, great to be able to show you the Jaguars. Look forward to doing more of it, and thank you for joining us.
We appreciate it for sure. All right, out of the timeout, The Jags will go back to the spread here. They got 3 wide receivers to the strong side, the near side. With a man in motion, they'll toss it, try and find some run room. Near side, and a good tackle is made at about the 20-yard line. Both McKiernan and Andrew Guillemette in on the stop. There is another flag, though, I believe. Yep, another hold is going to come here against the Jaguars.
Yeah, holds when you're down deep in your own territory, Nick, are very costly because it really changes the field position game. And, giving the Astros the ball in their own 20 is hard enough, but when you give it to them potentially, unless the Jaguars can dig themselves out of here, still think that the Jaguars have a little bit of room underneath where they can start getting some of their better receivers open and into some open space so they can open up the running game a little bit, force the right now Pinkerton's stacking the box. You got to do something in response. The double wing's designed that if they're going to stack the box, that's the time you start looking at that short stuff out in the area where the defense is not. And I think that opportunity has been there. They just don't seem to be taking advantage of it so far.
That whole call is going to wipe out the 3-yard gain by Stephen Maig. And back the Jaguars inside their own 10. They're backed up here on second down and 13. De Silva out of his own end zone, going to lower the shoulder and try to get back to the line of scrimmage. Was under siege there. Thomas McDonald, one of these co-captains for Pinkerton, on the stop. No gain for De Silva. It'll be 3rd and long here for the Jaguars. Just over 3 minutes gone by, second quarter. It's been tough sledding for this Jag offense and very tough field position to begin this drive.
It has, and they're deep in it. One of the things I noticed is this game is going by, Nick, very much quicker than last night. Last night was almost, 2 hours and...
2.5.
2 hours and 39 minutes, I think, from start to finish.
Yeah, that sounds about right. A lot of pass attempts between Dover and Winnicott. All right, on 3rd and 12, De Silva deep out of his own end zone, looking for Maig down the field. He's got it. At midfield, foot race. Patricus from behind will wrap him up and stop him inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. Count that for what? Nearly a 70-yard gain through the air.
We're just talking about that, Nick. Obviously I was talking more of the shorter stuff that was open, but Pinkerton really started stacking the box and started bringing their cornerbacks up 2-3 yards off, and he threw a strike. I mean, that guy's got an arm.
Perfectly placed.
Oh,
as well.
Very hard to defend.
Hit the receiver in stride where only he could catch it. And a good job by Maig as well, stretching that one a good 22 yards after he pulled it in around the 50-yard line. So the biggest play from scrimmage either way,
he caught it in stride,
belongs to the Jaguars. It goes unofficially for 71 yards through the air. On 1st and 10, Jags now in the red zone. De Silva going to push the pile and be marked down just shy of the 15-yard line. A gain of 2, maybe 3 there on 1st down for the quarterback.
Yeah, it's 6-0, not 7-0. That is very attainable. The big thing here is obviously the Jaguars want to get down and get some points on the board, but they've completely changed that field position, which is extremely important as well when you've got 7:18 and counting left.
Yeah, they want points though now inside the red zone. 2nd and 7, trailing 6-0, nearly 5 minutes in second quarter. This is Maig, not going to get much, and a good sign for Pinkerton. Big number 44 in red back on the field. In fact, making the tackle there, Evan Wilson, apparently okay after being shaken up moments ago.
Didn't seem to be any knee trouble on that tackle, Nick. That was perfect form, and he just brings a set of life to this team that even the coaching staff talks about.
Yeah. Here we go. 3rd down and 7. They'll throw to the end zone. Flag on the play as this one comes incomplete. And again, yellow laundry on the field right around the line of scrimmage.
A lot of contact down here on the right, kind of stopping the runner from getting back in. But they're more liberal about that now. They allow the inside defender the ability to hold his track that he chooses as long as he's not turning and putting his hands on him. And he did a great job of shielding the Jaguar receiver from the ball, Nick. Just a terrific job on defense. Knew the rules and applied the technique properly. Coach O'Reilly very animated right now. He understands the importance of the sideline of what's going on here. He wants to stop. Let's see what he's going to do.
It's a chop block, I think.
Yeah.
Below the waist block against the Jaguars. So that O-line having some struggles on this drive. They had a holding call to begin the drive, and now
that's
going to really hurt the team. Pull them not just out beyond the 20, but beyond the 30, all the way to the 34-yard line. And a 3rd down and 25 will force De Silva to go back to the air. He was flushed out of the pocket, backpedaling, throws, and incomplete. McKiernan tips it away from Maig. Good pursuit on what looked like a backside blitz, Steve. Don Terrio, the 5'7 junior, really making De Silva uncomfortable there and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, almost looked like a Hoyer-type play the other night. Quarterbacks, it's so hard. You want to stay free. You want to make that reception, but you got to be very careful about running backwards when you've got 2 people pursuing you. Fortunately, because of his athleticism, Nick, he was able to get rid of the ball, found a receiver downfield, almost was caught for a short gain.
4th down and 25. Jags in no man's land. They'll go for it. Hard count. De Silva now is going to change the play. He's got Park to his right. Snap taken. He's going to pooch punt it. This one high. Takes a bounce inside the 5. Jaguars trying to keep it out of the end zone, and they'll do it.
You can't
down
do any better
at the
than that.
1-yard line. Great job. The gunner, Cole Peterson, the one who downs it at the 1. But De Silva making a play for his team, the quarterback turned punter, gets that one off for 35 yards. No return to the Pinkerton 1.
Yeah, it's a 6-0 game, I realize it, but penalties for the Jaguars are really keeping them away from their ability to run the flow of that offense. One of the things that the double wing counts on is very low penalties. You want high technique, multiple guys at point of attack, and you should not be having these type of penalties on the double wing offense. That one
cost them points.
Oh my gosh, without a doubt. But the field position, as I said earlier, the field position game at least got them an opportunity to try to get the ball back.
Well, Pinkerton going to have to start at their own 1-yard line. It's been a first half of field position.
It really has.
You may have guessed that based on the score of 6-0 as we hit the midway point, 2nd quarter. A short run will set up 2nd down and 8. Little more breathing room for Pinkerton. Still trapped, though, at their own 4-yard line.
Yeah, I think
wind picking up, too, a little bit. It's blowing right to left right now. It was steady earlier, but now it's starting to howl a little bit.
Old Glory down there Old Glory is stretched out and blowing gale force.
Yep, you see the little flags at the top of the uprights as well. All right, Campos on a keeper, trying to find some outside room. A good
defense.
Tackle along the sideline.
A.J.
Fox, the junior.
Yeah, that was well designed. Campos, good athlete, and A.J. Fox stayed right with him. And what he did was he kept his hips square as he was running to the line, because Campos was thinking about cutting inside, Nick, and because of that technique of Fox, he was able to keep him from cutting upfield, and he chased him down, and great scissor tackle right there.
Made the tackle actually out of bounds, so the clock is stopped with just inside of 6 minutes to go before halftime.
Yeah, Jaguars want that ball back.
Big 3rd down here, 3rd and 6 from the 5-yard line. Stretch play. Albert near side, forced to turn upfield, does cross the 10, and I think he's got the 1st down at about the 15-yard line. So Albert continuing, Steve, to rip off some off-tackle runs.
Yeah.
Good gainer there of about 7 and a Pinkerton 1st down.
Well, we saw some really good signs with Albert in the Londonderry game that we did with Pinkerton. I thought he was really running hard. In that situation, they loaded the left-hand side. They had a lot of blocking up front. Somebody's got to go in the Jaguars and try to bust that up and to allow the other tacklers to flow. They kind of sat back a little bit, waited for it to come.
1st down and 10, back to Albert, right side, breaks 1 tackle, tries to get away from a 2nd, and is up again near the 1st down stick, across the 25 to the 26, a gain of 11. Albert has been the most productive ball carrier. Sophomore, though, limping a little bit, Steve, as he makes his way to the home sidelines.
Yeah, Coach O'Reilly seeing off-tackle opportunities here. They're starting to own the both tackles of the Jaguars on both sides. They see something, and Albert's speed is able to get through the hole. If you look at Pinkerton's, not necessarily their tempo, but their their desire to get across the line of scrimmage quickly has been brought into the equation.
Tailback take, nowhere to go. That's Clark. His fourth carry. Stuffed up there for actually a loss of 1 is the Jag front got some good push. The linebacker Meg made the tackle back at the 25. We move inside of 5 minutes. Closer to 4, actually, at this point. Pinkerton with the ball and a 6-0 lead.
Oftentimes, that's a setup play, Nick. Coach O'Reilly is testing the middle, making sure the linebackers don't always flow outside. They have to step, have to honor it. Be interested. Probably going to go off tackle here. Yep.
2nd and 11. You called it left side. Not a whole lot of room for McKiernan.
Nice job by Windham.
Tripped up in the hole. Did get positive yardage, though, about a gain of 3. That whole snap closed, though, pretty quickly. Eli Nikopoulos with the stop.
I think it's fair to say at this point, Nick, this is about the penalties of Jaguars. Jaguars should be at least in a tie score here. If you take away some of those penalties, Nick, I think one of those 2 drives they were going to be able to score, especially this last one. That was just really, really painful because Jaguars are showing they have an opportunity to stop Pinkerton on a lot of their running plays.
Well, they got to do it here. 3rd down and 8, trying to get the Pinkerton offense off the field. Clark, nice inside job. Run, wrapped around the waist and brought down. Met in the hole by Lippold. His 3rd tackle. Clark, not happy. Meg was in on the stop there for Windham as well, and now the Astros will have to punt, and I think Windham is going to use a timeout here, their 2nd charge timeout to stop the clock with 3 minutes, 10 seconds to go before halftime. The Jaguar defense a win there, about to get the ball back.
I think the Jaguars are very fortunate that this game isn't more than 6-0, Nick, because if you really want to look at the control of the half, most of it, the vast majority of it's been controlled by Pinkerton, and they've only got a 6-0 lead. So I think the Jaguars should be pleased with that, but they're going to have to clean up those penalties at crucial times when the offense starts flowing. They've got to make sure they stay away from the personal fouls, and obviously if someone gets by you, a hold is just such a costly thing on 2nd down because it just takes away the flow of the drive and just makes you feel like you're pushing the millstone up the hill as opposed to riding down the hill on a toboggan. And that's what penalty-free, steady, grab 3, 4, 5 yards at a time offenses need to have in order to flow. And then all of a sudden you realize you've taken 7, 8 minutes off the clock and you've scored. It's just really, really important that the Jaguars get that sort of frame of mind and good disciplined play.
Yeah, I mean, there's been derailing penalties.
Absolutely.
I think that's really been the story.
It has.
For the Jags, at least offensively. It's been a game of field position. You got to credit the defenses here through 2 quarters, but mistakes have definitely hurt Windham today.
Yep.
All right, punt time. Picasso Bates standing back at his own 17-yard line, getting set to boot this for Pinkerton. Back deep, I believe, is Meg. Not Meg, rather, but Curtis Shattuck. Shattuck's going to let this bounce. It'll roll along the far sideline and go out of bounds in Windham territory at about the 30-yard line. That is where the Jaguars will have 3 minutes to try and figure out if they can score or not before halftime.
Yeah, Pinkerton got about a 25, 28-yard roll, bounce and roll on that punt. That punt did not go off well, and it looked like that they were going to, Jaguars were going to get the ball around the 50. And here it is back to the 30.
Right. Instead, it took a fortunate Pinkerton roll. It stayed in bounds, number 1, along that far sideline before finally being declared out at the 30. So
I was watching Coach O'Reilly when the punt got initially kicked. He wasn't too thrilled, and then he saw that roll and said, okay, we'll take it.
All right, one of those. All right. To Silva, who hooked up earlier with Meg on a 71-yard bomb. He's going to go back to the air on 1st and 10. He's got time, rolls to his right, throws on the move, off target, incomplete. Left it out in front of Meg, who paid the price. McKiernan laid him out anyway, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I got to hit that. He's rolling out to his strong side, and he's got to make that pass in the breadbasket because he probably would have picked up 7 yards. That's what I was talking about earlier, Nick. He had a lot of space opening. They had plenty of room to catch the ball. You got to hit those on target, especially when you're rolling out on your strong side.
Well, De Silva in communication now with his receivers. He's got, again, a 4 wide set with 3 wide to the near side right. Pinkerton's going to blitz on the edge. It's a toss play, far side, and stepping out of bounds is Lippold.
Looks like he got about 6. Oh, penalty. Is that a penalty? Or
Make
is that
Clark on the carry? There is no flag.
That's the orange marker.
It's that new orange marker, as you mentioned, which is really for the ball placement, as the officials try to cut down on their contact with the football.
Yep.
All in an effort to stay germ-free, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. 3rd down and 7 from their own 33. Jags trying to keep the drive alive. Again, with time, De Silva's going to air it out, and it's incomplete. Along the near sideline, Sam Durham, the wide receiver in the area. Guillemette on the coverage, along with McKiernan. Good stop there by Pinkerton. The Astros now set to get the ball back after just, 15 or 20 seconds went off the clock.
Yeah, I'm still a little confused of why they're trying to go deep. I don't mean deep like, 70 yards. I'm a little concerned, or not concerned, but wondering why they're not taking it a little bit shorter, because they're giving them so much room. And
what do we have here? 4th and 7.
Yeah.
De Silva, who got off a good pooch punt earlier, gets this one off the right foot. Handled by Guillemette, the return man. He's along the far sidelines. He's going to stay in bounds across midfield before he's finally wrestled down inside the Jaguar 45 at about the 44-yard line. So Guillemette, he did a good play on defense a moment ago. Gets a good return here for the home team as the Astros look to add points before the half, 2.5 to go.
He got a great jump on that punt return, and he really spun his wheels because he wanted to catch that on the fly. And he just did a lot for his football team right there. He caught that back at the 30, and now it's on the Windham 45. So, he basically got 25 yards after the initial catch.
Well,
Great
let's
job.
see what the Astro offense can do. They've been quiet. They scored on their opening possession and not done much since. 1st down and 10 against a 4-man front. They're going to throw. Campos, a rare attempt down the field, incomplete. Trying to find the big tight end. That was De Silva who had the step. DeSalvo, rather. And, well, he had it in his hands for a moment, but could not quite bring it in on his way to the ground. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
He almost had it the second time. It popped out of his hand. He kind of grabbed again. I thought he was going to pull it in. But, boy, does he look like a linebacker.
He's a big boy.
Sure is.
6'4", 225. Just a junior.
Excuse me, tight end, not a linebacker.
Yeah, right. He's a 6'4", 225-pound tight end with, an additional year to add to that frame as well, as he's expected back next year as a senior. Meanwhile, 2nd down and 10. 2:27 to go in this second quarter. We get a whistle on the field.
Yep. Jaguars must see something.
And they'll call their final timeout, as Coach Byrne did not like it pre-snap. So a timeout. Pinkerton, meanwhile, on the other side, still with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 2:27 up on the clock. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look back at this first half. Take a look around the league as well. A busy Friday night last night. Some games on the schedule again today in the Granite State. We'll preview the second half as well. It's all coming up at halftime in just a few moments here. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. Nick Anastas, Steve Beals with you, all brought to you by Beals Insurance. Glad you could join us. Week number 3 across the Granite State. Pinkerton trying to get to 2-1. And Windham looking for their first win over the Astros ever. Is that fair to say? I'm not quite sure what the series history is.
I don't know, but I don't remember a win.
I don't either.
For the Jaguars, but they are up to the challenge if they can just stay disciplined. It's 6-0 here with 2:27 left. They can go into the clubhouse with a 6-0 game. I would consider themselves luckier than Pinkerton going in with a 6-0 lead, given what, at least in the first quarter and half of the second, certainly seemed like controlled, or tempo of the game was controlled by the
but
Astros.
again, the Jag defense has really been pretty good.
They have.
They've gotten off the field when they've needed to. They've bended but not broken. Trying to keep Pinkerton off the scoreboard here. They'll force an incomplete pass coming out of the timeout. Albert slipped down. The throw was short from Campos.
Yeah, Campos got to hit that. What he looked a little bit uncomfortable throwing the ball there. Kind of his feet weren't really set right, but you can't be afraid to fire it into the breadbasket there. It looked like he was a little bit tentative on that throw.
3rd down and 10 now. 2:23 to go before half. Astros at the Jaguar 45-yard line. Campos will send Albert off tackle to the right. Receiver to the near side. Snap taken. Rolling to his left. Campos in trouble. Gets it off to Wilson in the flat. The fullback makes the catch down the near sideline. Does he have the first down? Yes, he does. Tackled inbounds. Needed 10 yards. Got 11. And a great job by Campos to keep that play alive.
Everything he didn't do on the last play, he certainly did do on that one, Nick. Fearless. He knew he was going to get hit hard. Saw Wilson down the field open. That's so hard to pick up from you kind of get your defensive backfield set up. You line yourself up with your receivers, and then all of a sudden you've got a running back that opens up some clear space, and you got to give Campos a lot of credit for hanging in there.
All right, 1st down and 10 from the Jag 37. DeSalvo in motion. He's ready to go now on the right side. Second man goes in motion. That's Clark. They give him the football. Far side stretch run, plants the foot, goes
Ball's
inside.
Out.
The ball comes out. The Jags think they have it. The officials say no, he was down.
No, they got it back.
Or well, yeah, you're right.
59.
McDonald, the center, the one who came up with the recovery. So a fortunate development there for Pinkerton. They're lucky they didn't turn it over. Instead, they'll have the ball inside the 25 with a 2nd down and a short 2 on the way. We move towards 1:10 to go. Astros again still have all 3 timeouts should they choose to use them.
Heads-up play by McDonald. Obviously running with the run flow. That's what they teach these guys to do. You don't stop running and blocking, and you find yourself in good places when in need. And McDonald, he didn't want to give up that ball.
Albert and Wilson in the backfield. Campos the snap. Fakes the handoff, rolls left. Going to tuck, going to run, trying to break a tackle. Going to limp his way inside the 20 to about the 19. A good stop by Eli Nikopoulos.
Yeah, I think Coach O'Reilly wants to make absolutely sure that he can get at least his field goal unit on the team, because this 3 points would make it a 2-score game, Nick.
It was Nicolopoulos, with the stop. Clock going to tick. Tick, tick, tick. Down to 30. Campos breaks the huddle quickly. Puts a man in motion. It's Albert. They go up the middle instead to Wilson, and there's nowhere to go. A wall of white. Big fella in the trench there. Lucas Rondo, the sophomore, leading the charge, and now Coach O'Reilly will stop the clock. 25 seconds, a timeout Pinkerton, with a 2nd and 10 coming up here.
Coach O'Reilly was shaking his head after that play. It looks to me like something went wrong, or maybe wasn't executed well. Looked a little frustrated there, and that's why I think he obviously to stop the clock first. And now he gets an opportunity to talk over probably the next 2 plays and giving directions on how to make sure that they're able to stop the clock in time to either kick a field goal or maybe take a shot in the end zone.
Speaking of the possibility of the field goal, Picasso Bates, one of the better kickers. Yes. Frankly, I think in Division I, he certainly has the leg, he has the length. Right now, the ball spotted at the 19-yard line, they'd be looking at about a 38 or so yarder, 37 maybe.
Yeah, and with that wind sweeping across left to right, that's not going to be – I'm sure that Coach O'Reilly wants to get another 10 or 15 yards. Get that field goal inside 30 yards, Nick, 25, 30 yards is, I think, what he's really looking at. He wants to get down to about the 15-yard line, and I think the wind at that point doesn't become the same factor it does at a 38, that's to your point.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the wind is at Pinkerton's back.
I see it's going sideways.
Or kind of sideways, right, from left to right. We'll see. They still have 2 timeouts. They've got a 2nd and 10 from the 19. Alpert in motion. Campos on a play-action throw into the end zone, looking for Goki.
Nope.
Couldn't pull it in. A diving effort in the corner, but Campos cannot quite hook up with Goki. Again, A.J. Fox in on the coverage for Windham, 3rd down and 10 coming. Clock frozen inside of 18 seconds remaining.
Yeah, my guess is they're going to stretch the field into the end zone, try to get the corners back and throw. Look long, quick. If they've got separation, yes, but then have Campos quickly throw underneath, maybe trying to get 10 or 12 yards to line up the field goal. So it'll be bang and bang. You've got plenty of time. You have 17 and a half seconds with a timeout to stop the clock. So
Gavin Ogier into the game at split end. One of the lacrosse standouts for Coach O'Reilly. On 3rd and 10, they'll pitch. Albert to the edge, tackled inbounds along the sideline.
That's not good there because now they've got to have to kick from the right hash line, Nick. Not quite sure about that. I think he was trying to get out of bounds, though, which would have brought it out to the middle. But now the ball is going to, I believe, is going to be placed on the right hash, which is going to make that field goal kick a little more difficult.
Milano credited with the tackle, a timeout with 3 seconds. So Coach O'Reilly, I believe, getting his kick team assembled on the sideline to try to add to this 6-0 lead.
Yeah, if you're a right-hand kicker, right-footed kicker, that means you've got to actually hook or pull the ball back to the left on that play with a wind running left to right, although a little more moderate now. If you're going to go on any hash mark, you want to be on the other side because the percentages are higher kicking from the left.
Right. Plus, it plays into the wind. To your point, it's really blowing left to right. If Pinkerton is looking at that upright,
that's what I'm trying to say.
It's blowing left to right.
Exactly. If you're going to sweep any side, sweep to the left.
Right.
If you're going to not be able to be in the center, between the hash marks, you're going to be on one side or the other. You really want to end up in the left. Who knows? Maybe they're not going to go for a field goal. Maybe they're going to try to take a shot to the end zone.
Well, Bates is on the field, the kicker.
Yeah.
So it looks like it.
But you understand what I'm saying. This is a more difficult kick to go curl it into the wind and hook it as opposed to be able to push the ball. Much better view. I mean, he's literally got to kick the ball back the other way. With the wind now coming up, really coming up.
All right, it's about a 33-yarder.
Yeah, it's going to be quite a kick.
And the wind is a factor.
He can do it.
Trying to make it 9-0 with 3 seconds to go. Snap, hold, kick.
Power.
Is no good.
Yep.
Had the distance.
Yep. Yeah, but that wind, you're kicking into the wind, Nick.
Yep. It goes wide right, and it's no good. So Windham dodges a bullet. It remains a one-score game at halftime. Pinkerton leading Windham 6-0 here in Derry.
If I'm Windham, I'm going to the clubhouse very happy. If I'm Pinkerton, I'm going to say, what missed opportunities did we not execute and cash in on? Tough job for both coaches in this game, going in sidelines of what they do to motivate their team, what sort of adjustments and changes are they going to make. Both coaches obviously up to the task. They know their teams, but we got ourselves a 6-0 game. If I had to say that the Jaguars so far, I think dodged a 7 to 12, 15 yard point deficit here, as opposed to a 6. If you know what I mean, I think they're going in here. They got to feel pretty good. Who's going to get the ball in the second half?
Windham.
Wyndham's going to get the ball now in the second half.
No, Pinkerton.
No, Pinkerton. Yeah, Windham kicked off. You're right.
Yep.
So they have
Pinkerton kicked to begin the game, so they'll get the ball.
They'll get the ball. Is what I mean. Yeah, exactly. So that's, but if I'm the Jaguars, I'm going and say, hey, it wasn't our best half, but we're still in this game.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a break. Come back in a few minutes here. 6-0 Astros out in front. It's the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. Back in a moment here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. the second half here in Derry. Pinkerton with a 6-0 lead over Windham. It's our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire game of the week. I'm Nick Anastas along with Steve Beals. It's all brought to you, of course, by Beals Insurance. Windham about to get the football. They trail 6-0. Steve, as we look back at that first half, both teams, I think, felt like they left some points maybe out there on the field, left them off the scoreboard. Some penalties really hurt both teams, especially in that second quarter. So what do you think the message was in both locker rooms as we head towards the third quarter?
Well, I think a lot of it is what we talked about off camera, right? Once they walked over, we kind of, hey, let's reanalyze this game. And we kind of talked back and forth, and I think that you brought up some good points. That it really is the two defenses are playing extremely solid, Nick. You're absolutely right. I've been saying all the first half about, Pinkerton probably could be up here. Jaguars defense, you're absolutely right. It's playing a heck of a game, and it's escaped me a little bit. But I do believe that, towards the end of our discussion there, we were talking about some of the missed opportunities in the passing game of drop balls that could have been some big plays for Pinkerton that probably you could argue that they've left some points on the table. But you're right. The defense have played great, and I think we deduced that the penalties on the Jaguar side have got to stop for the second half. If they're going to have any opportunity to get the flow in the offense working, Jaguars, more than anything, need to get some sort of points, even if it's 3 points. Get something, get rid of that goose egg and get moving forward.
The only score either way came early on Pinkerton's opening drive. Evan Wilson, a 1-yard touchdown. The extra point was blocked. 6-0 Pinkerton at that point. 6-0 Pinkerton still here at halftime. Wilson, we saw playing through a little bit of pain.
Yep.
Was banged up at one moment, looked like with a lower leg injury, but he was back on the field. Good to see, of course. What do you think will be the main issue either way? What's the key to the second half for both these teams, the Jaguars and the Astros?
Well, I think they're both going to come out and try to run the ball again. And if it doesn't work, somebody's going to have to give, and they're going to start throwing the ball. As I said, I think the Jaguars have had some good passing opportunities missed as a result of having a lot of room underneath the cornerbacks. They've really been Coach O'Reilly's made the strategic decision. You're not going to get deep. Other than that one pass, it didn't. You can see why. This guy's got an arm on Windham. So I think that that on the Jaguar side of the offense, they've got to be able to start looking at that short pass game to open up the running game. As far as Pinkerton is concerned, Campos has thrown some good balls out there. They're within the catchable range. I don't know if it's the crosswind or whatever it is, but they're going to have to pull those down. But the Jaguars have kind of started to shut down the Pinkerton running game. So, to me, there's got to be a better sequencing and mixture of plays.
Well, both teams are back on the field and ready to get things going in a minute or two. Our coverage, of course, of the Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, brought to you by Beals Insurance, locations in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 today, or visit BealsInsurance.com. A gorgeous afternoon, a little bit windy. Excuse me, but temperature-wise, about as good as you could expect.
Oh, it's beautiful.
For the, mid-October Saturday afternoon that we're enjoying here today.
We got our own private leaf peeper lot here to look at. It is absolutely beautiful. We're so fortunate up here in New Hampshire, Nick, to have the beautiful falls that we do. People come from all over the world to see it. And the beauty is...
sometimes we take it for granted, I think.
Yeah, and sometimes after those horrible...
It's not like this everywhere, right?
No. And I had all-natural New Hampshire maple syrup for breakfast this morning and with pancakes, and that comes out of these beautiful maple leaves that we're seeing colors.
And some pancakes to go with the syrup, huh?
Boy, yeah. I don't think... I could go for a second order.
That sounds good right
It is
now.
a gorgeous sky, gorgeous day. It's going to be very interesting to see what changes. Sometimes you can go through these halves, Nick. You get these 6-0 games, and all of a sudden the second just completely changes and things just break wide open.
Right.
I don't get the sense that's going to happen this half. I have a funny feeling it's a defensive day. How about you?
Well, it could happen. We saw it in flashes there. Joe DeSilva, the Windham quarterback, hooking up with his favorite target, Stephen Maig, on
what a throw.
Unofficially a 71-yard play, longest play from scrimmage either way on the day so far. So that explosiveness, that potential at least, is there, as we saw exhibited early in the second quarter by the Jaguars.
I think it's who makes the proper adjustments. You know, a lot of times you can say, for me, it's as far as the Windham is concerned, they got to start throwing some of those passes, go out, stretch, and then some of those comeback passes because they're open because the Astros are playing so far off. I would keep doing that and force them up, and then hopefully open up some of the splits and open up the running game a little bit by forcing the linebackers to stretch out and be looking outside for that play and get them thinking. Right now, both teams seem to be, I'm going to run it against you no matter what. And, you know, Pinkerton had a little luck with it in the first quarter, but second quarter, nobody had luck with the running game, really.
Again, a big day, or a big game, I should say, in Division I South between these two teams. Londonderry, they fell last night. First loss for the Lancers since 2018. They're still
big game
right there, though, at 2-1. A win today, though, would be big for Pinkerton. They'd get to 2-1. Salem sitting there at 1-1 off this week. And, of course, Windham is right in the mix as well. So, interesting development here 3 weeks into this 2020
I think
football season.
Pinkerton long-term really dodged a bullet there when I saw Coach O'Reilly looking at over at Evan Williams being attended to by the EMTs, and it was just great to see the short season. This is big year for him. To be able to see him get up and walk and get back out in the field is awful good to see, because Pinkerton can ill afford to lose a leader on the field and a player of the quality of him, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he looks like he's ready to go. I see him down there on the sideline speaking with one of the Pinkerton assistants, and big number 44 expected to see the field here shortly. All right, the Astros will receive the opening kick to begin the second half. They lead 6-0.
Quite a breeze coming up here. It's almost getting more steady.
A little stronger gusts than what we saw earlier as well.
Yes, I would agree.
You can hear it now.
So Pinkerton going to get an opportunity here to get the ball first. Very important for the Windham Jaguars to be able to hold them and get the ball back.
Really a battle of field position in that first half. The defense is coming to the forefront. Saw the Astros move the ball at times. Jacob Alpert, the leading rusher in that first half.
He's shifty.
Expect him to stay involved in the second half, along with Wilson, kind of that inside-outside combination that Coach O'Reilly has leaned on through the early part of this season. All right, the Jags will kick off the tee for the first time today. This is Adam Burke, the junior. Burke with a squib down the middle. Bobbled by McKiernan. He scoops it up at the 30. He looks for a little bit of room across the 35 and leans forward to about the 36-yard line. Stopped by the kicker, Burke, on the tackle. Good starting field position for the Astros. They'll take it 1st and 10 from their own 36.
Be very interesting with Coach O'Reilly and his staff, the adjustments they make. I think we're going to see what those adjustments are early. Wouldn't surprise me if they tried to get a Campos running game going a little bit. In other words, dropping him back on a play action and actually looking for the running lane. Nothing else so far in the second quarter seemed to work too well.
Two receivers left on 1st and 10. It's a give. Albert, big hole right side. First down up to midfield. Stopped by Cole Peterson, the last man standing there for the Jaguars. Albert with a big 14-yard gain to set things off here on the drive.
Boy, he got through the – well, clearly that is the way that Pinkerton normally runs. Shoot through the hole really, really quickly. And
straight downhill there.
Straight downhill, and nice run. Good saving tackle there, but I couldn't tell who made that tackle.
That was Peterson, one of the safeties.
Great job by Peterson. Not an easy guy to bring down and catch.
If Albert gets around him, it's over. Meanwhile, left side, Clark with room of his own. Looking for a first down. He's got it. A stiff arm at the 40 and spun out of bounds just shy of the 35-yard line. That's good for 15. Clark looking pretty good there. He was held in check in that first half.
Very obviously what one of Coach O'Reilly and his staff's offensive adjustments were, and that is to get through the hole quickly. And if you can notice, Nick, you'll see them. They are just taking absolute north-south shots, shooting vectors right through. One of the things that Coach O'Reilly's been able to do over the years of that running game is really perfect it, and that is don't give the defensive line any time to think, and that's what he's doing right now.
First down and 10. Back to Albert. Back to the right side, and he's got a hole. This time does get around the safety, Peterson, before being finished off by Shattuck. But another big run for Pinkerton. Back in the red zone, back inside the 15-yard line, and starting to find some running room along the right side.
Yeah, Anthony Terenzio, 220-pound guy, just did a fantastic job. 3 plays in a row, Nick, and he's dominating the defensive tackle on the Jaguars side right now, and I think they'll keep doing it until it's stopped. Number 56, right guard, tremendous.
Yep. Of course, he's one of the linebackers as well. This is going to go for a loss, however.
Wow.
Shooting through the gap, that's Keegan Park. Another well-timed blitz out of the secondary and a good tackle by Clark. It's a loss for Pinkerton. It'll set up what looks like a second down and 13.
There's some good stuff going on, Nick, here with adjustments in the game. Jaguars lose 3 plays for about 35, 40 yards, and look at this. They come right back with a very well-designed blitz, and that was badly needed. They got to do it again here.
Yeah, officially
to not drop 2 scores.
Officially a loss of 4. As Albert taken down in the backfield, setting up a second down now in 14. Campos, a quick snap. They go to Clark, left side. Another big hole. He'll find some room inside the 10 down to about the 9-yard line.
If your offense is having trouble holding blocks for a long time because they're facing a worthy opponent, which Windham certainly is, best thing you can do for your linemen is to get through the hole quickly, as I said earlier, and that's exactly what they're doing. Went over the left side that time. Who is the left guard here? I've seen it rotating. Did a good job there.
Yeah, I mean, Brady Durazano is
55.
Is one of the guys usually out there. Nathan Burris is who you're talking about here. 3rd and 6. Albert up the middle, close to a first down. Tackled inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line. And the officials say, yes, sir, first down. It'll be first and goal, Pinkerton.
Yeah, this here is Pinkerton football. This is Pinkerton football on the offensive side of the ball, 100%, Nick. Great adjustments made.
Yeah, this is the most consistent the offense has looked since the opening drive back in the first quarter when they scored their only touchdown of the day. All right, can they find pay dirt this time from about 2.5 yards out? The ball is inside the 3-yard line, first and goal. Wilson, the big back, along with Clark to his left. Campos against a 5-man front. Keeps it himself on a bootleg run, but hit shy of the goal line. Second effort is going to get him in for the touchdown.
That's great.
Campos able to spin down near the goal line, keep the legs pumping, and the quarterback scores for the second time today, the second Pinkerton touchdown, rather, of the day. It comes with just over 3 minutes gone by in this third quarter, and it extends the Astro lead now to 12-0.
This is basic football, but it's all about the execution, and the execution of Pinkerton in that drive was outstanding. Everybody's hitting their blocks. Must have had a good discussion in the clubhouse and at halftime, and it's working.
Bates is on for the extra point. His earlier extra point attempt was blocked back in the first quarter. This one is a low line drive effort that sails wide left, no good. Bates, who also missed a field goal just prior to halftime, comes up empty here. Got the kickoff, but it's no good wide left. So the Astro lead stays at 12-0.
I thought they were going to go for 2. They're running the ball extremely well there, Nick. They're 6-0. They missed the extra point the first time. I was thinking that they were probably going to go to 2. I don't know about you.
I wouldn't have been surprised. But Coach O'Reilly decided to stay with the kicking unit, and it didn't work out. So 12-0 still, with, again, just over 3 minutes off this third quarter clock. Jaguars set to get the ball back.
Yeah, and they need to go to work here. Let's see what adjustments they made in their offense, if they found any openings in the Pinkerton defense. We're going to find out shortly. Very important here to try to establish on the kick some good field position. Don't want to get pinned deep here, Nick. now being 2 scores down.
Yeah, you got to let that defense rest a little bit as well. Pinkerton just marched down their throat. 65-yard touchdown drive. You got to let them lick their wounds a little bit.
Very good point, because they've been out in the field a lot.
Yeah, they have. I'd say
done a fantastic job.
Time of possession battle has been won to this point by the Astros.
Yep.
All right. Bates ready to kick. The offense adds points to their halftime lead, taking just over 3 minutes off the clock. All right. It's Fox, the deep man back. He's across the 20, 25 up to the 28-yard line before he was met and tackled by a number of Astros, including Cole Yannico, the sophomore, the first man there, number 25 in red. All right, Windham saw them move the football at times, stuck primarily to the ground game with really a trio of guys led by both Lippold and Park. Quarterback De Silva with a couple of runs of his own as well. He's in the shotgun here, takes a snap. Little pitch to his right, and Lippold is cleaned out. The ball came loose. Well, Evan Wilson laid the hit on him, and that's the first turnover of the game. The Astros have the football.
This guy is a spark plug, Nick. They got to have him on the field. On Rewind, Coach O'Reilly talked about it. This guy brings so much to this football team, and he came up big right there. I think it's pretty safe to say there's no knee problem anymore.
No.
And he laid the wood.
He did. Dropped that right shoulder right into the football and out of Lippold's hands. It was Guillemette, I believe, who recovered it out of the secondary for Pinkerton.
Johnny on the spot again.
It's the first turnover either way. And it's a big one here as it puts Pinkerton deep in Jaguar territory just outside of the red zone at the 25-yard line. They lead 12-0. First and 10, Campos looking for the throat, going deep, down the middle, incomplete. Just over the outstretched arms of Clark in the end zone, who had a step on 2 defenders, but Campos led him just a little bit incomplete.
A little bit. It's a tough ball to catch today in a win when you're looking over your backwards. But Campos, I thought, led him pretty well. It looked like it was just out of the reach. But
you like the play call?
I like the play call because they've run the ball successfully the previous time they had the ball, and the perception is they're going to come after the run again, and good timing on that call.
Well, they do go to the ground here, and again, plenty of room for Albert. A beautiful cut, and he's going to walk untouched into the end zone.
Defense just hasn't had a chance to rest, Nick, and adjust, and it's this is what can happen.
Great hole on the right side yet again.
Yep.
Albert able to burst through it and then cut to his left, and that shook the entire secondary. Touchdown. Pinkerton's lead is now 18-0.
Well, they just came out on the offense and made adjustments. Pinkerton did, and it looks to me like they're making two adjustments. One is get the backs through the hole quicker, and then they change some of the blocking schemes. They look like, I can't tell from here, but it looks like they're doing some double teams and some kickouts, more traditional blocking, and they're getting it done. Looks like the extra point is good. He goes for the 2 this time. Can't say I blame him after 2 misses of the extra point in this very windy afternoon.
McKiernan credited for the 2. Wow. And it's now 20-0 Pinkerton, and just like that, the game is flipped. Just 3.5 into the third quarter.
Wow. And we were talking at halftime, who's going to come out and make the adjustments? And we've seen things change. You get these tight halves where they both play even, but I think Pinkerton getting the ball and, as you said, Nick, keeping the defense on the Jaguar defense with that turnover on the field. I mean, they haven't got 5 seconds to win a rest, and then it just gets to be a psychological game where you feel that you're playing uphill all the time, and I think that's what happened. So Jaguars kind of at a point right now where the next offensive opportunity they have, they got to close this gap in some way. Otherwise, time's going to begin to run out on these running offenses that tend to eat a lot of time off the clock.
I mean, now it's a 3-score game.
It is.
So it really changes
2 points was big.
The dynamic. 20-0 Pinkerton. Still a ton of time. The majority of the second half still out in front of us here, but
big play by Evan Wilson. Big hit, motivates everybody, kind of changes the physical complexion of who's winning the physical battle, who's out physicaling who.
Kick from Bates is going to send everybody backpedaling, including the deep man for the Jaguars, Jake Machichi.
Yeah.
And he'll let it go out for a touchback. So the Jags getting set to come back out here. Meanwhile, there is an injured Windham player.
Yeah, he looks like he's in pain.
Just outside the 20-yard line, there's a man on his back. Going to receive attention here. That allows us to remind you to subscribe to the channel.
Oh, yes.
We're on YouTube, FNL Media. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. Of course, if you want all of our notifications as well, hit the bell icon. But more importantly, we appreciate the subscriptions. If you could do that, we appreciate it. Again, that's FNL Media on YouTube. And, of course, it extends well beyond football. We'll be covering basketball in the wintertime, as well as lacrosse in the spring. So we are the home for live play-by-play coverage of some of the top games in any sport across the Granite State. That's FNL Media.
And now gone to double headers every weekend now for the football, and it's a lot of fun. Makes me feel it sure does you. It looks like he's okay. Number 58.
Yeah, that's James Como. Been on the field most of the game for the Jaguars. Good sign that Como able to walk off under his own power, still having a conversation there with the trainer on his way to the far sideline.
It's fun doing two games because we can talk about double the amount of content that we're showing our viewers, and it's been enjoyable.
We've been blessed with good weather.
Oh, yes.
So far, a little chilly, as we mentioned earlier last night on the seacoast, but gorgeous here mid-afternoon in Derry. De Silva on 1st and 10 on a keeper, knocked down around the edge. Not a whole lot of operating room. Guillemette, the man who recovered the fumble a moment ago, comes out of the secondary for Pinkerton to make the stop. Just a yard gain for the Jags, 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, that looked like it was set up as an option, but it was an option going in against the short side of the field. And it looked like the pitch man was not really in position, almost like they ran out of real estate or something.
Yeah. 2nd down and 9 to Silva.
That's what
Quick
I'm talking
throw,
about.
far side, catch made, and rallying to the football.
It's been open all game, Nick.
A couple of Jags, including Declan Turner. We haven't said his name too often tonight. He's been holding it down on the corner. And Russell Patricus as well. He's been kind of a ball hawk, deep safety type in on the stop there as well. So a short gain.
But that's that underside pass, Nick, that I've been talking about throughout the game that's been open.
Yeah.
And they're starting to go after it now, which is, for the Jaguars' sake, I think it's going to help them even open up their running game by spreading everybody out a little bit.
It's about 3rd and 4 here. 3rd down and 4 from just outside the 25-yard line. Movement up front. Now the officials blow it dead.
Wow. Every time they start to move the ball down the field, Nick, they just seem to get
this may
is it on
go against Vanderdeen, one of the big guys in the trench for Pinkerton. He definitely jumped, but
I didn't see that.
Was he drawn offside is the question.
They're talking right now.
How about Van de Veen, 6'6", 250, again, just a junior for Pinkerton, one of those big D linemen that Coach O'Reilly loves to cycle in and out.
Yeah, and they do a lot of development.
You called it here, Steve, a false start. And again, just another.
I didn't see any movement on Pinkerton's side. I just
another
saw
self-inflicting wound, though, by the Jags. It's been a theme today.
Well, that's 2 plays. That pitch play there that never happened, never developed, Nick, was kind of – it just never developed. That play never developed either. It never even got started. So,
but this really hurts. Officially, it was a 3rd and 3. Now it's 3rd and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Just another uphill situation for the Jags. All right. On 3rd and 8, back to the air. Deep down the sideline and incomplete. Man had a step on Turner. Turner then pushed him. I believe that was Weston Lippold, the intended target. It was Lippold. But De Silva's pass just a tad overthrown. 4th down and 8. Over 5 minutes gone, already approaching the midway point, 3rd quarter.
They almost have to go for it, Nick. I want to be on.
I don't know. The ball is at the 22-yard line.
It's a real risk. I think they're going to probably do a short kick. They're going to take it and do a short kick.
They've got De Silva. We've seen him punt twice in that first half. He's deeper than normal here, ready to take a shotgun snap.
Yeah, they don't want a receiver deep back. They want to force the safeties to come up.
Yeah, both Guillemette and Albert, double safety look, not too deep. Now the punt is in the air. That'll send Guillemette back to his own 40 where the ball takes a bounce out of bounds at officially the 39-yard line. Well, it's a 20-0 game now for the Astros, Steve, and they've got the football. No real reason to take a risk here. The O-line has certainly started to come together, at least on that last drive, opening up some holes. I think we got a recipe for more run, more ground, and more pound here in the second half.
Absolutely. It's all about eating the clock. The thing to do is if there's a way that they can play a very high percentage possession style offense and move the sticks, Nick, they can take off 3 minutes every 4 downs or 2 minutes every 4 downs.
That's
almost
ideal for a Coach O'Reilly offense.
Yeah, he'll take that.
All right, again, I mean, they're just running the same play. It's off the right guard. And again, it's Albert who has found a lot of success. He's creeping up, got to be creeping up towards 100 yards unofficially on the ground. Was pretty productive in the first half and really effective on that last drive. He picks up about 4 here to set up a 2nd down and 6 as we hit the midway point, third quarter.
I've been very impressed with the natural athletic capability of De Silva, though, Nick. There's a lot that this guy can do if they can somehow put together some games. Wow.
Albert tracked down from behind, tackled around the collar by Park, but again, not before Albert is able to move the sticks. Ball placed at the Jaguar 45. It's a gain of 9.
Boy, De Silva can throw a dart downfield. That's 2 of them. That 70-yard one that they did catch in that one, that was just barely overthrown. This guy's got an arm. I'm surprised.
Well, the Jag defense has got to dig deep here.
Try to get it back to him.
And get it back to him, right? Get the offense back on the field. Well, a good start here is Wilson on 1st and 10. Well, I spoke too soon. Look at this. He's going to push the pile a good 4, maybe 5 yards across the 40 and down inside the 38-yard line. It's just power there by Wilson.
You're going to build a diesel engine.
You name it Evan Wilson?
You build it a Wilson. Yeah, because but he's been a real spark today, Nick. Just one of those guys that you can tell just wants to get every play. He plays every play like it's just last play.
Well, he's got a touchdown to his credit. He's come back from a leg injury, and he's forced a fumble.
Biggest hit of the game.
So he's checked a lot of boxes so far as we move inside of 5 minutes, third quarter. They go back to him here left side, and he's going to bounce off a tackler and roll forward for a couple of yards down to the 35-yard line. Stop made for Windham by Milano, who has been busy along that D-line. But time of possession really starting to overwhelmingly favor Pinkerton now as they've had the football most of this third quarter.
Yeah, 16 and a half minutes to go. You got to figure it's going to take you 5 or 6 minutes, usually on a drive, unless there's a big mistake by Pinkerton. You're right, Nick. It's getting.
Albert pitch on the right side.
Nice.
Met along the sideline and driven down for no gain. That is a good play.
It's 26.
Yeah, that's Weston Lippold. He's been active on both sides of the ball for Windham.
Yeah, there's no problem with the Jaguars' defense, Nick. I mean, they just haven't come off the field, and had some
field position go against them.
But this is a hard-working group of young men, and they're not afraid to come up and stick. They're not dropping their shoulders. They're in it. They're waiting. Okay, give me more. But it's really been today about the inability of the offense to ever get anything going so far. Still time left, but it is beginning, as you said, to get short.
Inside of 4 minutes, third quarter. 2nd down and 9. Albert in motion. They give to him on a sweep near side, looking for that edge. Contained nicely again by the DN Milano, and then forced into a short gain inside the 35 to about the 34. That's just good contained.
Just excellent contained.
Yep, by Milano, who's been very effective for Windham. 3rd down and officially 3rd and 9. That was actually a loss of 1 on that run there by Albert. So 3rd and 9. Albert's going to come out of the game for a moment. Remember, he was nicked up a little bit towards halftime. Just before the end of the second quarter, he came off limping, and he's going to catch his breath here right next to Coach O'Reilly. All right, 3rd down and 10 officially. We move inside of 3 minutes before the end of the third. Clark is in the wrong spot, and now a whistle and a timeout is called by Coach O'Reilly. It's just some pre-snap chaos that the old ball coach didn't like. First charge timeout either way.
I like the timeout, Nick. The best defense right now for Pinkerton is keep their offense on the field. And this gives us opportunities, guys, to get a little bit of water, a little bit of rest, sort of re-examine what we're doing, remind them of how important it is to move the sticks here. They got two downs to do it, and probably set up the play, make sure all the offensive line coach is out there working with the blockers, making sure they know their responsibilities. I like the timeout, like the timing.
Yeah. 20-0 Pinkerton. They capitalized on their first drive back in the first quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run by Evan Wilson. Extra point failed, 6-0 Pinkerton, about 4 minutes in. And it stayed that way all the way to halftime. Both defenses playing well through the first 2 quarters. Nathan Campos on the opening drive of the second half for Pinkerton capped off a 65-yard drive with a 3-yard touchdown run. Extra point also was no good, so 12-0 Pinkerton. Windham comes back and fumbles the game's only turnover, caused by Evan Wilson of Pinkerton, recovered by Guillemette, the safety. That led to a Jake Albert 25-yard run where he was untouched. 2-point try was good, 20-0. That's where we are here with inside of 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Some guys are just built to lead as far as football is concerned. Evan Wilson's one of those individuals. Another guy that I see, he's been pretty calm today is as far as his approach to the game. Campos has done a good job today. Come out in the second half, done a good job.
Very composed. And his second effort down around the goal line led to the second Pinkerton touchdown. Meanwhile, we have movement here, and a false start is going to come against the Astros.
Looked like 55.
That's a rare penalty.
Burris.
That's Burris, the right guard. That's a rare penalty by the Astros.
Burris
offensive group. Anyway.
Burris played a good game today. Both guards of Pinkerton played an outstanding game, 55 and 56.
Especially in this third quarter.
Terenzio and
where
Burris.
The running lanes, the holes have become bigger and more pronounced, in my opinion.
Heavily guard, representative of the guard play on both sides.
And again, that plays into the time of possession factor as well. We're starting to see some fatigue, I think, in the guys in white defensively. They've been on the field a long time for Windham. All right. It's a 3rd and long. They pitch. Guillemette looking downfield, throwing down the far sideline. It's incomplete. Well, that play worked in the first half. It went for a touchdown, in fact, but it was called back due to a hold. This time, it's a good old-fashioned incompletion. Logan Goki was the man. They tried to get open there, the intended target. Good coverage by Windham. Fox in on the coverage. Incomplete, 4th and 15.
Yeah, Coach O'Reilly trying to close the door right now by a good time to do it, actually, because they've got great field position. They're on the 40. They can kick it now and try to pin Windham deep. So why not try to go for a big chunk?
They got Bates with his toes just inside his own 48-yard line. Takes a clean snap, gets off another good kick. This will take a bounce at the 10. Fox, the return man, gets away from it. Some acrobatics now around the goal line. Fox decides to jump on it.
Not understanding why.
He may have felt like it was live or have nicked one of his teammates. I don't know. That not Fox, by the way. It was Weston Lippold who dived on it and secured the possession. But, boy, this is the second time that Windham has started a drive inside their own 10-yard line. This time it's inside their own 2.
Yeah, that was well covered. Play is designed to have the ball, have some good trajectory on it to give time for the strikers to get downfield, and they did a great job. Got a nice bounce there. I thought it was going to bound into the end zone, but it didn't. Took a nice bounce, and they did a great job covering.
And Bates on the sideline having a word with Coach O'Reilly. A little one-on-one time. All right, De Silva in the pistol. Got to be careful here in his own end zone, of course. The back is right behind him. Snap taking. They'll throw. Looking for Lippold deep down the far sideline. It's incomplete. Albert in on the coverage. Ball overthrown. It'll be 2nd down.
That camera, Nick, in the end zone that's up about 25 feet is taking a video of the game, and I can tell you, the way that thing is swaying, when it comes Monday, don't eat your pizza early because you're going to be woo-hoo
right.
when you're watching the film there, whoever that is. I think it's Pinkerton's by the colors.
Meanwhile, we've got a hold, Steve.
I didn't see a flag.
They just announced it. It's a hold.
Well, if it's on Windham, it's going to be.
And if it's in the end zone, it's a safety. But either way, Pinkerton's going to say, forget it. It would have been half the distance, which means only a yard.
Means nothing.
Right. You're not going to give him a free down, so they'll keep it at 2nd and 10. But, again, you got to be careful. Can't take a hold in the end zone. That'll be points.
That's exactly right.
All right, 2nd and 10 to Silva. This time with the running back right off his right hip. Pinkerton is showing blitz up the middle. They will bring heat. The give is to the outside. To Silva. Never gave a give. In fact, he keeps it. He's still somehow on his feet across the 10 before he's finally planted and driven down by Terenzio at about the 12-yard line.
Always love when you see good runners stretch the field, force the hips of the defenders on the outside, facing the outside of the field, and then cut up. And that's exactly what he did. The only thing he did, he started to cut in and go left rather than straight up field. I think he might have had the first down, or he actually did get the first down. Good for him. That's a nice run there.
Yeah, he needed 10. He got 11.
Yep.
Out to the 12-yard line, the first down. The give is up the middle. This is Vito Mancini, a sophomore, his first carry coming with inside of 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Doesn't go for much, maybe a yard. 2nd down and 9. Again, Terenzio giving credit for the stop. And he's going to jog off the field here.
Windham really needs to take a look at the clock here because you got basically 13:40 left in the game when you count the total time left. I like
screen play.
I like that call.
It's Lippold on the far side, met by a couple of guys, including the corner, Declan Turner. They're going to stop him inbound shy of the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, Pinkerton has strategically left that space in that area open on both sides of the field, Nick, all game. And I just don't think that that Windham has attacked it enough. I hate to keep repeating that, but it just continually is open. And those corners are playing way off, taking 3 steps back.
Final minute, third quarter. Snap taken low to Silvo. Floats it near side. Catch made in the flat, and it's a first down for Lippold. Able to cross the 25, tripped up at about the 30. Tackle made around the ankle by Burris.
That's exactly what I've been saying. That area is open on both sides of the ball. And you have to force defenses, if they're going to give you something, you have to take sometimes what they give you and then force them to adjust and then get back to your standard format that you came in with. But right now, Coach O'Reilly's come in with a very good, both defensive coaches have really come in with good defensive game plans, but you have to adjust. If you're being stopped, there's got to be some area that's open on the field.
Final 30 seconds. Still trailing 20-0 on a 1st and 10. Silvo again takes the undersize, takes the underneath out there to the far side. The catch pulled in without a problem by Lippold.
It's 3 straight plays.
Yeah,
it's
and the Astros are not going to tighten anything up anytime soon either.
No,
they don't
have
give
to.
that right to keep the clock moving.
But if you can't move the ball from running it, you have to look where the field has open areas that you can attack and
take what you can
when
get.
You got a quarterback like De Silva, who's the kid's got an arm, he's got a rocket, he's got good poise in the pocket. Let this young man stand in the pocket and get it and hit those open areas.
That'll do it for the third quarter. Pinkerton, a couple of touchdowns. They extend their halftime lead now to 20-0. Looking for their 2nd straight win, a chance to improve to 2-1. Windham going to need a big effort and some things to break in their direction here in the fourth quarter.
Got to get on the board
if they want to get back in the game. Got a promising drive going right now. They'll switch ends of the field, but again, the clock starting to become a factor here. Just 12 minutes remaining in regulation. Our broadcast of today's Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week is brought to you by Beals Insurance. Locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Call Steve at 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com. PinkertonPick'em.com. Nick Anastas with Steve Beals here on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Pinkerton led 6-0 on the heels of an Evan Wilson 1-yard touchdown run back in the first quarter. That was the halftime score. And Pinkerton able to really flex their muscles in the third quarter. They forced a turnover. They got 2 touchdowns, one from Campos, one from Albert. Mixed in a 2-point try in there as well. And, well, here we are, 20-0. And now the onus really on Windham to try and get back in this football game. All right. 2 slot receivers really in tight. Pistol snap taken by DeSalvo. Flushed out to his left. Able to avoid one man and then throws an interception. It's picked off. And down the near sideline goes Cole Yanako.
That'll do it.
He'll step out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. Second turnover forced by the Pinkerton defense in this second half. And now the Astros really in a position to crack this thing wide open.
Yeah, 70 Robinson leaked through, and I think De Silva underestimated Robinson's capability as far as the attack, as far as speed is concerned, and so he got flushed out of the pocket very quickly. All he had to do there was that play was going nowhere. There was nobody open. Just throw it out of bounds over any of the receivers on his weak side here. They'd still have the football.
All right, 1st and 10 from just outside the 10-yard line. They fake to Wilson. They go to Albert, and like a cannonball out of a cannon, he's through the hole and into the end zone. Touchdown number 2 for the sophomore Jake Albert. And Pinkerton really starting to blow this one wide open. 26-0 with just 17 seconds gone by in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. De Silva's still impresses me as a quarterback. That's just a judgment. Made a mistake, trying to force something to happen. Probably kind of frustrated because they haven't been able to score anything yet. And it starts to get in your head a little bit. But I think the big key there was Robinson 70, the defensive lineman, just did a terrific job of chasing him. De Silva broke left. I think he thought that he had plenty of space, and Robinson didn't stop. 2-point try to Campos with a beautiful pitch to Clark. And it's easy from there. 2-point try successful, but great pitch by Campos. Yeah, sure was.
Waited till the last split second, absorbed the hit, but got off the beautiful pitch and made it easy for Clark. So 28-0 in favor of Pinkerton, a far cry from where we were at halftime.
Yeah,
just 6-0.
I think Campos, as I said earlier in the game, Nick, I think Campos has improved since we saw him in Londonderry. He's got a little time under his belt. It was always just whether or not it was a matter of time that it just took, and seems to be the offense now. He's more comfortable in it, and doing a great job today, especially the second half and the end of the second half, of the end of the second quarter. Things just started to turn around for him. Remember, no scrimmages, truncated practice, 2 weeks to get ready. It only makes sense that this is about where they'd be at the start of the season under normal season, as far as offense always takes longer than defense to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
One, you're creating the orchestra. The other one, you're training to disrupt it. And it's a little harder to create the music.
Bates with a skying kick. It'll take an awkward bounce inside the 20. Fielded off the one hop at the 15. Back out across the 20 goes Lippold. Knocked out of bounds just shy of the 25-yard line. That is where the Jaguar offense will come back on. Trailing now 28-0.
Well, now the Jaguars got to really take a look at, okay, where we're at. We got 11:38 left. Let's start trying to work the ball down the field methodically. I would continue to let De Silva throw the ball, Nick, and get some experience, because
we got a penalty here.
Uh-oh. What now?
It was against the return team.
It's a 15-yarder.
Yeah. May have been a personal foul after the play. Not sure. I didn't see it, to be honest.
I didn't either. I didn't even know they were marking it off, to be honest with you.
It fits right into what we've seen Windham do today. They've really hurt themselves with some of these penalties, and this one no exception. It'll bring them back inside the 10 at their own 7. 1st and 10. They go back to the ground. Again, it's the sophomore Mancini, who was popped pretty good by the safety Patrikas, who lost his helmet on the play.
Yeah, Patrikas is pumped up. Yeah, once the helmet comes off, he's got to take a play off.
So he'll be taken out of the lineup for a moment.
He came to play today.
Replaced by Don Terrio. He did. He's been really one of these unsung heroes,
Yep.
I think, for Pinkerton this season. Mancini crushed out in the flat. Jack McKiernan, who also has played well today. We have not said his name enough. Good tackle there in the open field, and a third down and long coming. 3rd and 14 officially from the Windham 4-yard line. They've just been pinned deep today, Steve.
Yeah.
Not only the time of possession war has been won by Pinkerton, but the field possession game,
A lot of
that
that's their
battle
own
has been won
doing,
by the
though.
Astros as well.
A lot of that's their own doing through, penalties and
Yep. And giveaways.
execution mistakes.
We saw
and things
them
of that nature.
2 turnovers
Giveaways, yeah.
set Pinkerton up on their side of the field in this second half. Pitch out of the end zone and heads up.
23.
Heads over heels. Park got taken out. That's, again, Guillemette,
Yeah.
who also has played
Outstanding
well
game
today. Right. And now with 2 minutes off this fourth quarter clock, it's still 4th and long, 4th and 13.
Understandably so. You can see Pinkerton's got the swagger right now. They've kind of just gradually, as soon as the second half began, been systematically been taking the opportunities away from the Jaguars. I thought the Jaguars had an opportunity and just continue mistakes. So they just got to go back to the drawing board and keep on working on it. They got a great defense, I think. They've got a very solid, but you can only hold on for so long.
Right.
If the offense is 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and then losing 40 yards of field position,
Punt from De Silva out of his own end zone will send Albert backtracking to the 40. Making a move to his left, looking for the 35 on the sideline. Steps inside the 35, steps out of bounds at the 34. Was shoved out by the coverage man, Cole Peterson.
Did a good job, though. Cole wrapped him right up. Albert's not an easy guy to catch. And like I say, if you look at the way that the Jaguar team defends, I've been very impressed. I think there's a lot of things they can do on offense to open this offense up a little bit. You got a quarterback who's got a real gun. Pinkerton looks to me like they're just continuing to grow in experience and have a sense of understanding. I think the adjustments that Coach O'Reilly and his staff made in the second half were absolutely a very significant part the way they attacked.
And they really started opening holes up too.
Yes.
On 1st and 10, new quarterback. You'll like this name, Steve. Elliott Beals, 6'1 senior, who we thought might get some action today. He's finally out to lead the offense here, but a false start. It's going to derail the start of the drive, push it back to the 40, and set up a 1st and 15.
Well, Coach Campos deserves a well-deserved rest today. Did a great job executing the offense. I really liked the way he came out in the second half. Great handoffs, very, very secure, very experienced. So we'll see what Beals can do.
Yeah, a lot of the subs are in as well. The second unit a chance to show what they've got. They're going to go up the middle. This is McKiernan, who's been a mainstay on defense, gets his first carry today, and it's a good one. In fact, he rips off 11 up the middle to set up a 2nd down and 4. And the Jags, they're starting to, I think, get some fresh players on the defense as well, as that starting group in search of a well-deserved rest.
This is so important to develop players as a team. You never know when you're going to lose some. You're only as strong as your weakest link.
Blitz up the middle on 2nd down. Beals will keep it himself, looking for the edge. He's met there and spun down for a no-gainer. Lucas Rondo holding down the contain there for Windham.
Nice tackle.
They'll give him 2 in the end. Setup's a 3rd and manageable here, 3rd and 4 from the 28-yard line as we move towards 4 minutes gone by, 4th quarter.
Yeah, this South Conference between Salem, Londonderry, and Pinkerton is really going to be interesting as we go down to the wire as these teams develop.
Again, everybody makes the open tournament playoff format this season. Little trouble with the snap. Beals does manage to get the handoff off to the ball carrier. Doesn't get much left side. That's Jake Marchand, the 5'8 junior. His first carry. It'll be 4th down and a long 2 as Pinkerton seeks the 25-yard line from just inside the 28.
It's really important to have your second quarterback, especially at high school, get in. You really have 2 quarterbacks, generally speaking, you're working with. This is going to give him some snaps and ability to be. You never know if Campos goes down. You're going to a big game. You got to have your backup quarterback ready, and Coach O'Reilly is staying right in it and making sure he continues to develop relationships so he's 2 quarterbacks deep.
4th and 2, outside run, turned inside. Marshawn leans forward and is very close.
Yeah, he's got it.
Steve, you think he's got it? The officials agree. First down, Pinkerton.
I did that for a lot of years, straddling, running down the line and saying, did he get it? Did he get it? So
you've got the well-trained eye for sure. Yeah, they got it sitting right now on the 24, so it'll be 1st and 10.
Yeah, Coach O'Reilly's not sending a backup coach coming in. He's treating this situation here as an opportunity, which all good coaches do when they get their backup squad in there. You're building right now, and you want he and Beals to have that relationship, that rapport with each other, as I said earlier, because you never know when he's going to be called on to play.
Right.
Yep. A backup quarterback relationship is so important in high school football.
Meanwhile, another false start against Pinkerton that's going to draw Coach O'Reilly's ire as he has a word for Benjamin Fairbank.
What happened there?
The guard who just came in. I think Fairbank moved early.
Okay.
Fairbank getting the one-on-one instruction right now from Coach O'Reilly before he's told to go back in the game. Coach shrugging his shoulders on the home sideline.
Well, I think he wanted an opportunity to talk to him for a second. And
well, the O's ready to go now.
Yep.
Snap taken with a wingback to the right. The give is left side, and no, says Windham. Joe Lisa, sophomore up front, with some good push there. Big 74 in white with the tackle.
Yeah, Pinkerton looks like it has pretty much all replacements in the game except 23.
Guy
Matt. Jaguars look like they have about half and half. Maybe even less than that.
We still see Peterson and Lippold out there. They've logged a lot of snaps.
Yep.
The DN there on the far edge, Milano, he's played well. He's still out there. So Jags still giving it full effort here at the midway point, 4th quarter. Handoff right side, Yanoko with a lot of room to maneuver. 1st down and more. He's in the red zone, tackled, about the 17, making the 16-yard line, and another Pinkerton 1st down. Yep. No, I'm sorry, I forgot the penalty.
Yeah.
And made that.
3rd down.
So 3rd and 2?
Yep.
It looks like, yep. Officially on the 16, they need to get to the 14.
A lot of Pinkerton players getting rotated into the game, Nick, which is really good. Give these guys just an opportunity to get out there, get in the game.
Yep. Rest your starters. Don't want them hurt either in a game where the outcome has been decided. They give Marshawn right side, trying to squeeze inside right tackle. He's got the 1st down. Needed to gain the 12. He ends up down at the 10. Another stop by Peterson from the safety spot. Want to shout out Aiden Irinello as well. 36 in white has played well. Irinello gets a half tackle on that previous one. All right, 5 minutes now remaining in regulation. Clock ticking. Beals and the offense are inside the 10-yard line on a 1st and goal. The give, left side. This is Caden Michaud. Not to be confused with Jacob Marchand. This is Caden Michaud, a freshman.
Cole Peterson in on the tackle.
Peterson holds him to no gain. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 10. Well, Pinkerton, if you think, Steve, they can enjoy this one for long, think again. They've got Salem next week at home.
That's a battle.
That's a Friday night battle at 7. And then the final scheduled game of the regular season is Friday the 23rd at Bedford. Bulldogs, of course,
but you want
made headlines last night with a win over
You want
Londonderry.
tough competition to face. You're going to go in the playoffs. You want to be.
Left side, touchdown. It's Marchand. Virtually untouched.
Yep.
Big hole off left tackle, and right now, Pinkerton.
Nice job there by my namesake.
Yeah?
Yeah, did a good job. He had a little rusty in the beginning, and those handoffs cleaned right up very quickly, and nice drive. Did a good job.
Marchand, the touchdown. 5'8" junior. Makes it 34-0. Now, I believe, Steve, the running clock rule is at 35.
Yes.
If the deficit reaches 35 points in the second half.
I think are they going to kick it or are they going for 2? It looks like they're going to kick it. So
yeah, they want to get that 35, get that clock rolling.
Yep.
And easier said than done, though. They're 0 for 2 on extra point tries today. And this one will be blocked as well.
Yeah, that was a hold
Second
of the
time the Jaguars have blocked an extra point.
Well, the snap came out a little low, and it actually tried to put it on the tee, and it fell off. So he actually kicked that thing as it was rolling.
It was actually the backup kicker as well.
Yep.
Our friend Gavin Auger.
So the clock will not stop.
All right, yep. 4 minutes, 10 seconds. In a game that has gotten completely away from Windham in this second half. Remember, it was 6-0. The Astro lead was just 6-0 at halftime, but a couple of Pinkerton touchdowns, a Jaguar turnover in the third, made this 20-0 through 3, and then, well, same thing. A couple of Astro touchdowns and a Jaguar turnover in the fourth quarter
I
as
hope
well.
we can talk to Coach O'Reilly on Rewind coming up this week.
We will.
I want to ask him about what I think the adjustment they made is they made some different blocking adjustments to be able to properly execute a blocking scheme that worked on the defensive line setup with the techniques that they were in. If that is true, that's a heck of an adjustment because, boy, it blew open the game, Nick.
You mentioned FNL Rewind. It comes your way again live Monday on FNL NH Media every Monday, 5 o'clock Eastern. Coach O'Reilly will join us at 5:45 live. This one will roll into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Oh, you lined him up already?
Already.
Oh, beautiful.
He's good to go for
Always a good
5:45. We are working on Tom King, who we had to reschedule last week. Tom, of course, of the Nashua Telegraph. We'd like to get him on. Both coaches from last night, I would love to pick their brain as both
Stack it up. How about Coach Byrne?
Francoeur, Coach Byrne, another one that we'll reach out to. So, bare minimum, Brian O'Reilly, most likely 4 head coaches and a writer for you on Monday. That's FNL Rewind. That is what we do every Monday during football season.
Tom King, always a great guest.
The give is to Cook, who rolls his way forward up to about the 23 for a gain of 4. We'll set up a 2nd and 6 for Windham. We're inside of 4 minutes now. Quarter number 4. An impressive win for Pinkerton. Second straight week they've had a blowout victory. They stomped out Nashua South last week by a final score of 33-7. The give up the middle. Not going to happen for Mancini, who's gotten his number called a few times in this second half. Ran into a problem up front. George Negro, 6'6", 315. Junior in the trench for Pinkerton as they just keep rolling out monsters in red in the trench.
Nice pass.
This is Fox, far side, and the receiver tumbles his way up to the 37. It's a Windham first down. And again, a new quarterback. Right, they've got Park in there. DeSalvo, it looks like his day is done. Or De Silva, I should say. De Silva and DeSalvo. DeSalvo, of course, the tight end for Pinkerton. Both those guys likely done, given the 34-0 lead for the Astros on the scoreboard. Pitch here, not much. Popped out of bounds. They'll give him 3. 2nd down and 7. Clock frozen for the moment with 3 minutes even remaining in regulation.
34-0. I don't think I would have bet on that coming out in the second half.
No.
At all.
Nope.
I was figuring maybe, like you said, maybe it stays 6-0 or 13-6 or, something like that.
Turnovers and field position. The Astros have taken advantage of both. Here's a pitch for Park. The ball pops out, and I think the Astros have their 3rd turnover of the day. Yes, they do. Steve, it was the man who just scored the touchdown who forced the fumble. Jacob Marchand led with his right shoulder. The ball comes out.
Heck of a hit there.
And then recovered by Patrick Waldron.
Who made that hit, Nick?
The sophomore. That's what I'm telling you. The guy who just scored the touchdown. Jacob Marchand leading with the shoulder. And the Astros have come to hit, especially in the second half. That's the 3rd turnover all since halftime by Windham.
Very impressive hit. All clean, good form. And
Marchand, a junior, he'll be back next year. But I mean, here we go. Making a name for himself, Steve, in the later stages of the game. Some of these backups with a chance to shine. Marchand taking advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, looking pretty deep, Pinkerton, right now as far as some of these players that they're bringing in the end of the game, Nick. I don't know about you, but been a host of them that look very solid.
Yeah.
Looked like they could start for most teams.
Yeah. Timeout on the field, called by Coach O'Reilly. It'll stop things with 2:52 to go. Well, another successful weekend from our point of view.
Oh, been a good ride.
Had a good broadcast last night out on the Seacoast, a good game. We found out that Dover is for real. A 2-0 start for the Green Wave for the first time in years. They knocked off previously unbeaten Winnicott last night. And then today's broadcast has been a pleasure as well, with Pinkerton set to win this one right now, 34-0.
I don't ever want to go back in the clubhouse here when we come to Pinkerton, Nick. Just being outside here is just beautiful. Unless it's
got a nice breeze.
Oh, it's a great venue. It really is. It's just
limited amount of fans today as we expected, but
and we're not far away. Even though they have a track with everything is crunched in with the bleachers, so we feel very close to the action.
Not a bad seat in the house, really isn't. Up the middle, a little power game. This is Matthew Fiol, another sophomore. Fioli.
Speaking, Nick.
And,
sorry.
You just got to tip your hat to Cole Peterson. Another tackle out of the secondary. I feel for him as a former safety myself. Not fun sometimes late in games to have to continuously come up and lay it on the line, but he has had no problem doing that even in a lopsided game.
Somehow I feel, Nick, you weren't too worried about doing that right to the end of the game.
Well, would depend, I guess, on the time and score.
I suppose.
All right, left side, good cut. He'll turn his back and end up inside the 30, down to the 27. That's again Michoud.
You know, we were talking really about the venue here. Another great venue that, I don't know about you, I love to watch a game is Windham. Up on that upper side there, looking down at the field.
Yep.
It's a great place.
Great vantage point, great atmosphere. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast how we like the Windham tailgate scene.
It's dynamite.
It's always a good staple for
big football fans over there.
Meanwhile, it's Rondo who's shaking up the big D ends.
Don't worry about your Jaguars. They're if this defense is what they're going to bring every single game, it's just a matter of getting this offense in sync and, maybe widening going a little deeper in the playbook when you have a talented quarterback like they do and earlier in the game. Pinkerton, it's just Pinkerton's day. They're just today anyway. But Jaguar defense played them hard.
Right, and Pinkerton just executed better in the second half.
They did.
It's simple.
And came out with some solid adjustments.
Right. The inside runs were just not there to that degree anyway in the first half that we saw in the second half. All right, again, Michoud spun down for a loss. Nowhere to go. Again, Arenello credited with the stop, the junior linebacker for Windham. Final minute 20.
Jaguars starting to really rotate in a lot of players, getting some guys some playing time.
Yeah, a blowout cuts both ways. It's an opportunity for both teams, both coaches, to give some of the guys a chance to play.
Well, what was there, 20 points scored probably within 7 minutes, right? 6-7 minutes? That's a lot of points. It had to be close to that. Not much more than 7 minutes.
Well, 2 touchdowns in each quarter, third and fourth quarters for the Astros. For the Astros. 14 points in each quarter. 2 touchdowns today for Jake Albert. As good of a player of the game candidate as any, I would say.
Yep.
Wilson, of course, deserves some accolades for what he did. And Campos as well.
Yeah, played well today.
Really managed the game well in that second half. But I think the trench was won by the Astros, particularly in the second half. That O-line unit deserves a shout-out. Don't look now. Pinkerton's won 2 in a row and are tied now with Londonderry at the top of D1 South at 2-1 through 3 games. as they win this one over Windham today by a final score of 34-0.
Really a 34-0 half, because Jaguars played Pinkerton 6-0 because of that defense. But the defense, Nick, was just on the field way too long. The Jaguar defense, I mean, on the field. Oftentimes, it 3-0, then a turnover. I remember in the third quarter, and it just things started to run downhill on them then.
Well, a good victory for Coach O'Reilly. And again, we will speak with the old ball coach on Monday, 5:45 live on FNL Rewind, which of course begins at 5 o'clock. And we will work on getting Coach Byrne. We will work on getting Tom King. And of course, some of the guys from last night as well to represent both Dover and Winnicott. But that, again, is all coming your way, presented by Beals Insurance, FNL Rewind Monday at 5 Eastern. Steve, your final thoughts before we say goodbye.
I think that Windham, believe it or not, in this game, is ugly as a scoreboard is if you've got a solid defense, then it's just a matter of got to get that offense functioning. And the big thing is, Nick, they have a quarterback that has the talent and the capability to move the ball. They've just got to get the play set, sequencing of plays, and probably spread it out just a little bit. Doesn't mean they have to change the double wing. Double wing has flex and wide on it, and there's a lot of things you can do with it. And I think that Pinkerton is here. I think this South Division with Pinkerton, Londonderry, and Salem, boy, that's going to be a hard game not to cover next week, because the Pinkerton-Salem game is a great game. But, that's one of the things. Out. Yeah, but as far as the game is concerned, I just think Pinkerton's offense is at a more mature level. I think Windham didn't play their first game, if I'm not mistaken. That's probably had a factor. They're still coming on. That offense of Windham football is going to be just fine, because when you've got a strong defense, you can make things happen. Player of the game, if I was going to choose a player of the game, wow. I don't know. I just think that Wilson is so valuable. I hate to use this, I just think he deserves it today, because he just
played hurt. He forced a turnover.
That turnover was just everything changed after that turnover, and it's the little things he does in between. But there's a lot of guys that deserve. I thought Terenzio played great and both guards played fantastic.
Burris, you mentioned a number of times.
There's a lot of room for accolades on the Pinkerton. The whole defensive.
Guillemette was all over the place.
Albert played well.
Yep.
They're looking solid, and it's going to be an interesting couple of games as we finish out the season.
I want to thank Pinkerton Athletic Director / football coach Brian O'Reilly for giving us the green light, and his man on the ground, Assistant Athletic Director Jeff Soika,
just was
doing
so helpful
a good job
today.
As well. Want to thank Kristen Beals, again, our top videographer, doing a great job improving by the game. Same thing with our producer / director, Ben Beals, who has been great once again. For Steve Beals, I'm Nick Anastas saying so long. Final score, final time, Pinkerton 34, Windham nothing. This has been a presentation of our Friday Night Lights New Hampshire Game of the Week, presented by Beals Insurance.